Hello and good day. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Streamers and Stories episode 6 already. Today we have the absolutely amazing TizFizzy, Glosske, and Nobbel. Do you want to start introducing yourself? TizFizzy.
Oh, you're gonna make me go first? Hi, I'm Tiz. I am a variety streamer, and apparently I do very weird things like eat a lot of snacks and a lot of green screen headless stuff on my channel.
The
I
headless
was
stuff
like,
is so
oh.
funny though.
Listen, I was just trying to put my head on Gollum's body. Don't worry about it. Let's see, what else? What other kind of things do you want us to introduce? Play a little bit of everything on stream. I do a lot of traveling. That's where I met Viev, was at TwitchCon in the EU. And I also have a dog named Cerberus that we just got from the rescue that I'm absolutely obsessed with. That might come in here at some point or another that you guys can meet.
I hope
But
so. That's awesome. Thank you
we
so
can,
much
if he
for being
doesn't, we'll make him come in here.
perfect. How long ago did you get the dog?
6 months.
6
So it's
months.
been, yeah, and he's from a rescue, so it's a work in progress.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being a guest. Gloska, can you introduce yourself and welcome?
Yes, I am Glosske, the gloss boss of Goldshire, dragon slayer extraordinaire. I spit glitter. I love chatting while I'm slaying dragons, and that's my life. And I'm Dutch. I'm a Dutchie just like Viev, and we are friends IRL, and I love you so much.
Thank you. I love that our friendship is part of your introduction. That is
Of course.
really, really awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Nobbel, another Dutchie.
Ja, I mean, we kunnen wel Nederlands praten, but it's really unfair for everybody else in the chat as well. Hi, everybody. I'm Nobbel. I'm very much into the Warcraft lore, but also streamed a whole bunch of Final Fantasies. You could tell in those clips, which a lot of
Yay!
felt.
Yay!
Absolute torment into those. Also, a big fan of health and fitness, and I mean, I became besties with Viev, honestly, just through the power of the internet and Warcraft celebration. Not TwitchCon this year, the Warcraft party in London. Otherwise, we might have also met at TwitchCon if I'd gone actually in Rotterdam, because it was this year, yeah, that you guys met up.
Yeah.
But
But like Gloss
wasn't
and
there.
Tis didn't meet each other this year. So even
Oh.
at TwitchCon, you can miss absolutely amazing people.
I mean, I ran into Glosske by accident at the Warcraft party on the way back. Like we
Yeah,
tried to
so
meet up.
short though. Yeah.
It was in the middle of the street, and all of a sudden, it must have been so weird to you. Somebody going like Gloska.
Well, I was just sad that I didn't get to meet you at the party, so I walked back to the hotel, and then all of a sudden, Glosske, I'm like, oh my god, are you for real right now? Did you just spawn right in front of me? Yeah, that was fun interaction though. It was cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We had way too much time to talk at the Warcraft party because we met when I was standing in line to get like a patch on a scarf, and the line took like I think 1.5 hours. And yeah, that was a long, long time, but super fun because you get way more time to talk. And today we get more time to talk with all of us. So thank you so much for being a guest in Streamers and Stories. And hello, welcome, darling chat. Thank you guys so much for being here as well. Yeah, Noble looking absolutely gorgeous over there in the right bottom corner. I last minute changed the position of 2 of the pictures on
Never look
the
better.
marketing post. So I do have to say, I'm sorry, this is Nobbel. That is Gloska. But if you guys ever switch name and identity, then thank you. That was because of me.
If it was warmer, I would have put on the wig. To be honest, I would have taken over your life, Gloska. Honestly, I've never had more compliments in my life.
I would have loved to see that. I would love to be bald right now. Like it's warm
I
with all
think
that
we're
hair,
gonna
you know?
do a reunion in the winter. So just to have that, and then Gloss can have a bald cap.
Yes.
You can be Mr.
Oh.
Worldwide with me. Let's go.
Deal. Done deal.
That sounds amazing. Tis, we talked a little bit about World of Warcraft already. Have you ever played, dabbled, or seen the game?
So I am a World of Warcraft noob. I played probably 10 years ago, a little bit, like way, way, way back when I was playing RuneScape. That was like I dabbled a little bit in WoW, and then haven't played since then. My roommate that I live with is a huge WoW nerd, so he talks about it all the time, and I smile and nod, and so then I've played it in the last like 2 or 3 months, he got me. I've got a couple characters up to level 20 before I have to pay for it, so I can try it. But other than that, I'm still like kind of just wandering around trying to figure things out. But I know like characters and what's going on roughly at the beginning.
Impressive. And are you for the Horde or for the Alliance?
I have characters on both, honestly. So I can't. Originally, I was Horde when I like all the dark elves and stuff. Yeah.
Choice. So with the RuneScape hype now rising up again on Twitch, are you going back into it? Have you dropped it at all, or just
No, I haven't.
Nah?
I was like RuneScape was a no life thing when I was in high school, and then I've had like different gaming addictions throughout the years. So it started with RuneScape, went to Halo. I was a Halo Reach SWAT player exclusively, only SWAT for like all of college, and then I may or may not have fell into the League of Legends addiction for quite a few years.
But you got out of
And
that.
that is actually
No, okay, never mind. Sorry.
do you ever get out
why
of
why did I interrupt you with that? Like I could have let you finish and not set myself up for failure. But okay.
Are you free
Perfect.
now?
No,
Are you feeling better? Is the league
no,
still in your
no.
life?
I just hide it. That is like League is actually what got me into
You're not
streaming
really
'cause
good
I
at
was
hiding
playing
it.
so much League anyway. Well, I mean,
Minute 10.
I don't stream it. I don't really talk about it a whole lot. That's just like what got me into stream, and then I was like, well, we're gonna do other things. So I secretly play it every once in a while. But if anyone wants to play League,
I've played it twice. I can make that 3 times. Like let's
Perfect.
schedule a
Let's do it.
but before we go to the questions, just in case anyone is on this channel already that doesn't know me, hi, I'm Viev. I'm a variety streamer. I play like 40% World of Warcraft, and the other 60% is all variety, including Timberborn, which is a city builder with beavers. Hence me talking about the wet beavers in the clip that was about the beavers in the game. Just to make that very clear again and keep it in the context. And other games, like everything. I love Souls games. I love city builders. I love management games. I love indie narrative story games. Everything. And I have even tried League of Legends. Talking about games, I would love to hear what was the very first game you've ever played. Glosske, do you remember?
Snake on the phone. Then came Worms. Then Freddy Fish played a lot. And I think then Habbo Hotel. And then kind of WoW came into the picture. That's kind of the timeline. Yeah, you know, back in the day, you didn't really have that many. Oh, I'm fucking old. You didn't have that many games to choose from. They were all super old school.
Nice,
But
nice.
yeah, even Worms, like I would play it today because it's still cutesy. So
It's an awesome game, honestly. It's a party game as well. So you were in Habbo Hotel. How old were you back then? Like, were you around the chat rooms, like in the pool and all that?
oh yeah, definitely. I had my own rooms. They were completely red. Red was my favorite color back then. Everything was red, and I like cats walking around. Spent way too much money every time for my birthday. I got like these cards.
Wally
You have to-
cards, yeah.
Wally card.
I
Oh my
spent
god, so many
much money on Habbo Hotel. I played it so much, like when I was 10 or something, and I shouldn't spend that much money on games yet. No.
Wait, what
Well,
are
but if-
Wallow cards? What are those? What is like in-game items?
Wally
or something?
cards are like you go to the free record store where you used to buy your CDs. Now I feel
yeah.
old. And then you buy a Wally card, and then you can exchange that for in-game currency, and then buy a fucking poster. And oh my god, yeah, I spent an insane amount of money on the Habbo Hotel, and later also
If
in
you-
Viev or something. Yeah.
If you played Habbo Hotel a lot, that basically means that you love chatting. So it's kind of funny that we're then now streaming and just chatting all day, basically.
Huh, fair point.
I see the link.
Nice. Tiz, what was the? Can I call you Tiz, or do you prefer TizFizzy?
Tiz works great. Honestly, actually, most people in my daily life call me Tiz anyway. My name came from Izzy is what my nickname used to be, and I have a nephew that calls me Aunt Izzy, and that turned into Tizzy. Was like the combination of that, and so then that's my stream. So everyone calls me Tiz or Tizzy. So either one. But my first game, Also probably Snake on Nokia, like the brick phone back in the day. But first like console game was probably N64 Star Wars Pod Racing was like the first game that I played a lot of. And then it was like Banjo and Kazooie and all of those 64 games.
I think I still have pod racing upstairs with the N64.
I do
That was a
too.
good game. Oh,
Such
it's
a good game.
It's working.
That's so cool.
Tiz, where are you from? Because your accent, are you American?
Yeah, I know. I was like, I'm the only one here that's not a Dutchie.
It's 9
yeah,
a.m.
no, I'm
for
from-
her right
Oh,
now.
I'm from
wow.
the States. It's 10 o'clock now. I'm from Colorado in the States originally, but I'm based in Montana currently. So lots of mountains everywhere.
Yeah, cool.
Unlike the Netherlands.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And thank you so much for waking up earlier than you normally ever do
of
to be
course.
here. I really
no, it's
appreciate
good.
that. Yeah. Nobbel, what was your very first game?
I'm gonna show my age here. My
I
very
mean,
first game.
isn't your name Nobbel87 already like sort of
Yeah,
showing
it's
age or?
not a big. Somebody asked me actually yesterday, "Are you from '87?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm part of the cloning program." It's like the first '86 were not that great.
Nice.
Nice.
I remember back in the day, we had like this big television in the living room, and the NES was hooked up to it, and you had like this little orange blaster with the Nintendo system, and I used to play Duck Hunt on it. But I didn't play it proper. I just
Oh.
put my gun against the monitor, and that way you would always hit right. And I remember I actually spoke with my father about this many years later. He tried out The Legend of Zelda on the NES, and he got so addicted to it that he had to quit because he played throughout the entire night, had to go to his job the next day, and he was like, that's it. Video games, no longer for me. So I didn't get it from a stranger. And then my mother actually picked up the gaming, and she started to play The Legend of Zelda with a manual little notebook where she took notepad, and it was like this big plastic map of the NES overworld. And she took like notes of burning these bushes and whatnot. That's where it
That's
began.
so
And for us,
cool.
we were lucky with that for the console family. So we skipped the SNES, but then we also got the N64, and my birthday's in December, and my brother's is in January. So they combined our birthdays in order to give like a big birthday gift. With the Netherlands, we do Sinterklaas instead of Santa Claus. And we got the N64 with Mario Kart, Mario Party, Tetris. Even my mum started to play like Mario Party, get like blisters on their hands. So we were a
my
Nintendo
God.
household. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. That's so cool. Nice.
Do your
you-
parents still play?
Don't know. My father, at the very least, not like he actually made the decision like I'm no longer playing. My mother, I don't know. I do remember that we had to go to the neighbors for the Sega, because back then you had like the Nintendo or the Sega, right? Like you didn't have both, and they had like Sonic games and this game where you would transform slowly into a werewolf. So we play at my neighbor's house, and they can play over at our house. It was great. Yeah. And yes.
Oh, we were so late. Like, I think my first console was the PlayStation 2 or 1. Maybe we had the 1, but definitely the 2. So, yeah, for me, it was like SSX3 and Tony Hawk. And having Tony Hawk now being remastered is so nostalgic. It's amazing. Yeah.
PlayStation was a good start. It was a good console. And yeah, a game where you transform into werewolves. They actually re-released it on Steam. For the life of me, I do not know what the game is called. I just know that throughout the level, you slowly transform into a werewolf and you get the power up. And then if you get hit, you lose your werewolf ability. It's on some sort of arcade on Steam now. 100%.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I really have to dive deep in Steam to find some throwback games from my past. I know we had like a very old PC pretty early, and my dad he had a few games, but I only remember one of the games was only in pink and black and white, and I'm so curious. And it was like I think a dungeon crawler, but I have no idea what the name is. But it feels so nostalgic, and I have this faint memory, but I really also don't know.
And it was on
Someone
the
says the
PlayStation,
game
yeah?
is called Altered Beast.
That's probably it.
That's probably it. Yeah.
That's probably it.
Nice.
Let me look up the image for it.
Perfect.
Hang on.
So that was the
Well-
first game, but what, my darling friends, was the most impactful game you've ever played? Nobbel, can I start with you? Like on your life.
I mean, that answer's got to be not going to be a surprise to anybody. That has to be World of Warcraft for me.
No, that's why I start with you.
Yeah. Like I at some point wanted to get like an angel tattooed on my body, and so I had a friend of mine design like the spirit healer from WoW because I wanted to get a WoW tattoo. That much of an impact it had. But the funny
you
thing
have
is, when
that
I started in
tattoo?
WoW, yeah.
Where?
Not massive, like on the right shoulder blade. I got the spirit healer holding Azeroth. So when they did like,
Are you
the more-
serious? I need
That
to see
sounds
this.
so cool. Yeah, same.
Where can we see this?
Not gonna see it right now. I'll send you a picture at one point.
A picture is fine. We don't want you to undress right away. I'm sorry.
Anywho, uh, but when I got into WoW, I had no idea about Blizzard or Blizzard games or Warcraft games. I played StarCraft with a friend of mine who had this really cool setup. His father was in IT, and so in his house they had like 5 PCs, which was huge back in the day, right? So they had the personal LAN, and we would play like StarCraft on it or like Diablo 1. But with WoW, we had just played Star Wars Galaxies together, and over the summer I got really addicted to this game. And so he shows me this game, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to play this game. We just spent the whole summer playing, you know. Seems a bit of a time investment. And then he showed me that trailer, that classic trailer, with the dwarf in Idaforge, with the bear and the tarn, and I was sold. And I was like, okay, I need to try this. And at first, I didn't even like WoW. I played WoW for the first day, and after 5 minutes, I was like, this is really boring. But something in the back of my mind started to like itch, and I was like, okay, well, the next day, I'll try it again. And I played for like an hour, and then I played for like a day, and then I played for a whole year. Yeah, it was fun. Had a bit of an impact. And here we are
A bit
today.
of an impact, yeah, because we're talking with streamers. You are also a streamer, but you're mostly like super, super, super big on YouTube because of all your World of Warcraft content.
Yeah, and that kind of flow with each other, to be honest. Like so again, the whole 87 thing. Back in my day, we didn't do the whole Mr. Beast thing. We didn't do the whole PewDiePie thing. Back in my day, YouTube was just a website where you could upload something to make it easy to share with everybody. So for a while, we would go in the Burning Crusade. We would go into like Elwyn Forest and do guild duels, or we do screenshot contest, or we go to the arena Strangleforn Vale and fight each other there. Like little events that I was like, oh, I can record that, turn it into a video, and put it up to YouTube so that the whole guild can see it. And you had like these websites, like ancient old websites where you can make like your own guild and events and all that. That then flowed into video guides where in Wrath of the Lich King, a friend of mine could not do the dailies in Northrend. You had to like spear a dragon and then ride a dragon, and they couldn't figure out how it worked. I was like, I got you. I don't even have to tell you. I can show you. I can make a video out of it. And so I did. And in that time, I also soloed raids. So by yourself, you go into old content, you take on the bosses. And in my mind, I was very much like, if I can do this and farm like a bit of gold, anybody can do it. Like, I'm not a pro player. I was still clicking on my spells. And I even had this intro, again, speaks on the age of YouTube, where you could get away with any kind of copyright problem. So my intro was like the Saw music going like, da-da-da, 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 da-da, and like text in the screen, Nobbel the Noble, if I can do it, so can you. Oh yeah. Didn't do
Dude, that's
voiceover or anything.
awesome.
Like little subtitles in the background because I didn't have a microphone yet to do any VO. And then we got into the Cataclysm, and we had the rise of content creators like Total Biscuit or Jesse Cox or Wow Crendor, like the Game Station, Dodger, and all that. And I looked at them, and they were having so much fun with the Cataclysm coverage that I was like, if I ever get the opportunity from Blizzard to like do a beta and cover this, gonna jump in on it both hands, gonna see what I'm gonna do. Because I knew I loved making videos, and I knew that I already loved the lore. And so Mr. Pandaria rolled around, where I think if you did like a year subscription, they would give you guaranteed beta access. I was like all over that. And I started covering the beta, and I was like, hi guys, what do you want to see of the beta? And nobody cared. I had like one comment of somebody who was like, can you show me how group loot, auto loot works? And I was like, sure. So I went to the Death Knight starting area. I killed a whole bunch of mobs around me. I clicked on them and I was like, ta-da! That's how it works. If you want to see anything else. But thankfully, there was one video in that whole series that was about the speculation of like they were going to destroy Fedamore in the story. That was a big deal. And I had like this very clickbaity thumbnail and this clickbaity title, and people really got interested into it. And if I listen back to it, I'm like, I had no business talking about the lore at the time, but it picked up traction. At that point, I was like, okay, I'm in the lore. I'm into making videos. Let's do this. And that's kind of how it started.
That's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing the whole story. I never knew how you got into YouTube, so that's a fun thing for me to learn. And that's really a while ago. How long have you been a YouTube creator now?
I think the channel was created in 2007, but I've been full-time since Warlords of Draenor beta. Yeah. So a while ago. Yeah.
And you're really the lore master of World of Warcraft right now.
I mean, I don't like that title basically because it gives the impression like I know everything, right? But I've like you've been invested in the lore for 10 years. Like obviously I know a lot, but by no means am I ever the one who always knows everything, right?
He doesn't know
and there's always more to
everything,
learn.
but every time someone in your Twitch channel asks you a question, you will just spin off a 20-minute story about possibilities. Like I had a question about something a while ago about like I believe the next expansions. And after a while I kind of had to go, but I was also so invested now in the story. And every time you said, I'm not sure though, but it might be that. And then a whole new thing came. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that might be true, but it might be not. We don't know yet because this is all not happening yet. And you were spinning off all these theories and things. So maybe you're not the lore master, but you do know a lot and you're super interesting to listen to. So just take the title when other people say it, but just don't say it yourself, I guess.
Exactly. Like, oh, that's the same how I got with Nobbel the Noble. Like, at some point, somebody tried to critique me, and he was like, "Yeah, all right, Nobbel the Noble," and I was like, "That actually sounds really cool. That's gonna be the title now."
Yeah, it
Okay, Nobbel.
does.
Huh.
Oh. And Gloska, what is the most impactful did I go Dutch there? I don't know.
You
Yes,
did,
you
yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
yeah.
I think I went Dutch there. Sorry, we talk Dutch IRL and on stream and content always English. It's confusing. Yeah, Gloss and I do a lot of IRL, not IRL, but like fun collabs. So I absolutely love this girl. Like the other day, I got some clips again sent by a viewer that got a highlight on their anyway. So it was the clip where Gloss was like sitting here in this room with me, dressed as a cow, both of us, and she was like, you know,
yeah.
touching her
Good times.
others, like the cow
Others, yeah.
suit others. And then the other day we were dressed as
You were
banana,
doing
making
what?
banana pie. Like every time I have a stupid idea that I'm like, I don't really want to do this, I ask Gloss because I hope she says no. But so far, every
I
time
always
she
say
says, oh yeah, let's do that. And then I really have to do it. So thank you so much for being my my silly goose. Tell me, darling, what is the most impactful game that you have ever played?
Well, it has to be World of Warcraft, but World of Warcraft Classic.
Yeah, you
All the
hate
other stuff,
retail.
retail. Oh my god, don't get me started. Burning Crusade, okay, good. Wrath the Lich King, okay, I could deal with that. But everything after that, no, please, please, no.
So how are you feeling about Mists of Pandaria
Oh my
coming
god,
to
stop.
classic now?
No, I can't. Pandas, for real. Yes, they are somewhere in the lore, but I'm very happy that they didn't put them in there, like right from the beginning. But yeah, I just can't agree with it. You know what it is?
Sorry, 1 second before you go into this, just in case there's
Yeah.
people listening who don't really know World of Warcraft, and especially not what is like retail versus classic. Could you give a short explanation where you don't
Yes.
burn retail down
I wanted to go there.
completely?
So why I like classic is because it gives me like a Lord of the Rings feeling. It's very baseline. You have like the elves and the dwarves and the warriors and the hunters and all that kind of stuff, which is good. So I'm like, if it's good, just don't change it. But what they did over the years, well, I understand that they have to change things to keep people engaged, but they changed too much, and now everything is shiny and everyone is awesome and everyone's a hero and saves the world, and I don't like that about it. And also because it kind of lost the medieval aspect of the game for me, which in classic you definitely still have, and that for me is very charming. And I also have World of Warcraft tattoos.
Yeah, what you
I
got?
like the other one more.
Like, I have a Alliance over here and the Horde one over here.
So nice.
Yeah.
So for you, the faction, it doesn't matter both ways?
Well, when the Horde one I did on myself when I was playing Horde, but now I'm Alliance. So then I was like, ah, shit, now I have to get an Alliance tattoo as well. So, but I don't want to get it lasered, but I don't play Horde at all. No.
You played Horde with me.
Because I had to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would not.
I went
No.
Alliance for her to try out Classic, and then we went Hardcore, and then we went Horde, so she would join me.
Yeah, that was a good time though, not gonna lie. I would roll Horde for you any day. But not on my own streams. No, no.
You
The
wanted
AI
to say
gaslighting you.
but. You said a World of Warcraft but. When I said most impactful
But,
game.
yeah, only classic.
Oh, but only classic. Okay.
Yeah.
Tiz, what's the most impactful game on your life?
I mean, I don't want to say League of Legends,
But you are?
But it probably would be League of Legends. Because I mean, League is what got me into streaming. And I also, most of my most recent partners and stuff, I've all met through League, which is, they're ex-partners, so that should have been a red flag, I guess, if I'm meeting them through League. But
I was at a wedding last year from two people who met through League of Legends, so don't give up.
sometimes it works out. Yeah, that's
That's
anyway.
cute.
League, the partner that I was with at the time that I had also met through League he had tried streaming and had the whole setup and was basically like, well, if you're going to be playing League anyway, might as well try streaming, see if you have fun. I had never been on Twitch before, so I had no idea that streaming was even a thing, and this was about 3 years ago, almost 4 years. And so that was my first, like, he was explaining biddies and subs and all the things, and so I kind of did my first little League stream, and I streamed League for probably 2 or 3 weeks. It wasn't very long. Like, I got affiliate and then went into just playing variety gaming, but playing League is what had me meet the people that got me into streaming, which this is basically my life now, and I do this full time, so it's just, unfortunately, League is probably the most impactful game on my life so far. And then
Stop saying
Wait, what were you gonna say?
unfortunately. Just own it. Do you know how many people actually like League?
No, anybody who plays League doesn't really like League, though. That's like we do it
Well
because
said.
we're addicted, but also it's such a drain, and yeah, it's a facepalm kind of game.
Yeah,
But
you're
also,
kind of
I
right.
mean, like, all
Everybody is in a
yeah.
hate-love relationship with League.
I don't think like you'll ever hear somebody who's like, "Oh, I play League and oh my god, I absolutely love it." It's kind of like, "No, we play League and like, I'm sorry," But
Aw.
I think
I
also
do hear
all
that
of
a
the
lot.
like,
I'm
y-
sorry when they say they're gamers and
yeah,
they're playing League. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So
I
how
would
were those?
say probably. Oh no, you go first. What were you asking?
How were those? Like you mentioned, you started streaming League. So how were those first week on
Yeah,
Twitch then with the chat reaction? Did you get any viewership? Did you get any reaction, or was it like
a
streaming
little
for yourself?
bit. Well, so part of it was because I've played League so much, and I had all of my League friends. All of them just hopped into my stream, so it was kind of like I'd have these games with them, and then they popped in, and so I was able to get affiliate really quickly just because of my League community. Essentially, it was
Oh.
very small, but the like 10 people I played with just kind of followed me on both places, and so helped and supported. So I think in that way it helped, and I could also do the whole shameless plug your link in lobbies and be like, I'm on Twitch, do you want to come?
That's nice.
just for the first week, and then I realized how that was not such a great marketing tactic and moved on from that. But you do what you can when you start out.
The
That's
flaming
really
stuff in League,
nice.
and they're now in your chat. It's like, how dare you play so bad? What was the jungling right now? What are you doing?
Yep.
I actually tried League because my brother, he's a gamer. We're both gamers, but I went the World of Warcraft way, and he went the League of Legends way. And then he met two great friends to whose wedding I went that met through League. And his girlfriend, who never played games, for who he told me years ago, he said, "Yeah, Viv, I quit gaming, so you can't talk about gaming." And I was like,
Wow.
What?
okay. Then I met a girl. She's absolutely amazing. So I was like, okay, if you can go without gaming, like sure, try. And then 2 years later, it was like we now play League together, and they needed a fifth.
I love that.
So I would be like the one to sometimes be invited. We did it twice. And I would be like bot lane with the girlfriend of my brother, and we would be like, I think I'd be Katarina or Lux, and she the other one, and she would just constantly yell at me so fiercely about everything. Like, run away! You can't be there! What are you doing? Why? I have so much more respect for her now, but I really don't want to play League.
League is a hard game to learn on the fly, and then as somebody who's played League for a long time, trying to have patience with teaching and not I get where it comes from. My community likes to do a teaching League nights every once in a while, and it's tests my patience, which I don't have a lot of, but I'm practicing.
I played League once on stream with Weg Looney, also a streamer, and he is the most patient person I've ever met. And before I even got into the game, I had watched 2 hours of videos so I would understand the lore of League of Legends. This was absolutely amazing. He made a whole playlist, and with every video came a whole explanation of why this video was impactful for League of Legends. And then when we played, he was just surprised how good I was, because I have played Heroes of the Storm, which is the Blizzard version of like League. Which is funny because League is of course like from anyway. But then it was like he was so patient, and I was looking at my own gameplay and I was like, I would be frustrated with this if I would have to play with me. So that's impressive. But I look forward to watching Teach the Community League on your stream one day. I'm really curious.
We'll see. Maybe that'll be a goal somewhere.
I'm gonna get some mana.
Well, we already talked with Nobbel about how you got onto YouTube. When did you actually start with Twitch?
I think that was around the Cataclysm period, and it also started similar in the way that I started YouTube, as in, oh look, I can show you the video now. In a similar vein, I opened up Twitch and I was like, look, I can make you see directly what I'm doing, and here's my playlist. Isn't that sick? So I had like volume on max, and there was like 3 friends in there that were like listening in. And then eventually, as YouTube started to pick up, back in the day, YouTube was really good at notifying you about all your comments. You could reply to them, you could direct message people. It was awesome. No longer, unfortunately, but back in the day, I had a lot of questions for people. And I was like, well, if we got a lot of questions, I could just turn on the Twitch and they can directly ask me these questions and I can just answer them live. And that's also why when you just mentioned, like, I asked a question about where could the lore go, that's kind of where I thrive with streaming, because I look like at a lot of entertainers. I look at you guys and I see people that are gifted with the gift of the, you're good at yapping, you're good at entertaining, you're good at telling stories and keeping the things going. I rely a lot on my chat, and if I'm streaming with an empty chat, I'm like, ooh, this streaming thing, I don't know, man, this is a long day. But if there's people asking questions, then yes, I will most definitely jump on those and rattle off like 30 minutes monologues on the implications of the lore and all the good things. Yeah. So that's how I got started.
It is
Basically,
difficult to stream without the chat. Like when I started streaming, I didn't come from YouTube. I just started streaming to work on my English. And I was so surprised the first time someone was in my chat. I was like, why are you talking to me? Like, I was really confused about that. Like, I was under the impression I was in the safety of nobody ever finding me, because I was just, playing Monster Hunter and Bloodborne, big games where a lot of people were streaming, and I was just like yapping away. And then people started talking to me, and now when I'm playing games and chat is empty, I'm like, what do I talk about? What I don't know what to talk about. Like, so it also changes. So I can imagine that it's also, yeah, I find it difficult as well if chat is very empty. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's a gift though. It's 100% a gift. Like when you watch it, people are like, okay, you're made for this entertainment thing. 100% for Twitch. People look at it and they're like, oh, it's so easy playing video games, you're just yapping away. But nah. There's certain spark you need to have there.
1 second.
This broadcast is brought to you by Viev.
Sorry, I had to ask for help. I couldn't open my water bottle.
Oh my god, I love that.
I'm sorry. It's 28 degrees here. I can't open my water bottle. I was lost.
Do you think?
Yeah. Oh my god.
No, it's actually funny you guys talk about empty chat, because if my chat is empty, I feel like a certain peace coming over me, and the focus shifts towards myself, and I can focus on my thoughts, and I'm like, what am I really thinking right now? And then I just start to blab whatever is going on in my mind. And sometimes just some random but interesting stuff comes out. So I don't feel like uncomfortable when it's silent. It's just a different vibe, I think.
Depends on the game. Like when I play like Lies of P, for example, first of all, I'm being slain by bosses over and over again. It's a Souls-like game. So I already get frustrated with the game and I want the focus, and I'm just yapping away about how miserable my life is. And there doesn't have to be a chat, and I'll talk and talk and talk. And with like strategy games as well, and if there's story games, but like World of Warcraft is my just chatting game, We're just doing dailies. We're doing content that has been done already like 20 times, and I'm farming achievements and everything. So if there's a chat, I just feel more comfortable with those kind of games.
I found with Final Fantasy to be a lot easier. Like story games, like
Mhm.
Trish, I see you playing the dating sim as well. Like those kind of games are easier because you can rely heavily on what the game is showing you.
I need more context, Tess.
Mhm.
Can you explain the dating? I
Well,
watched your
Oh,
stream,
yeah.
but so shortly. But you're playing a date everything at once or something?
Yeah, just date everything. I was just about to say, as you were saying that, it depends on what game you're playing. I think it makes chat easier, but things like date everything, like they'll ask questions in the game, and then you can ask chat those questions, and you can follow up, and it makes it really easy to kind of vibe both off of chat and the game. And then there's other games that it just doesn't work quite as well. But date everything. You obviously just
What's
need
the
to date
favorite thing you've
everything.
dated in the
Was
game?
it
The
the
door.
sink? Or was
A
it the door?
No,
door.
the door. Mm-hmm.
How do you
Dorian.
talk with the door, or do you like that they're silent?
Oh,
Is it your
he's the
piece?
bodyguard. He keeps everyone in and out. He's a door. But also there's spoilers. There's a hidden trapdoor that may have less articles of clothing on, and
Wait,
it's
the
the
door
same
is
voice
wearing
actor.
clothing? I'm
Yep.
so confused.
He's shirtless, and it's the same voice actor that does Verso in Clair Obscur,
Ah.
and
Verso the
it-
trapdoor. Okay.
just play it. Just try it.
I see it more and more on Twitch, but it felt like something I was like, I can skip this. But
I have never played a dating sim before. It's my first dating sim I've ever tried, and I saw a couple other people playing it, and I purely just for the art aspect, like the character design is really fun because they're all objects around the house, right? So the character design is really cool. The voice actor cast for that game is incredible, and so I really just got into it for that. But it's actually really fun to stream, and it's kind of like Pokemon. You got to date them all. You just like find all the objects in the house. I have one more to find. It's been eluding me, but it's much better than it looks. Just from you're like, oh, a dating sim, eh.
Hmm.
And it's still in
fun.
early access as well, right?
I think it's released now,
Oh,
but it
okay.
potentially could be. I don't.
Hmm.
I'm so bad at knowing what games are actually out or in. I'm just like, I'm just playing this. Cool.
and is
See?
gotta date them all. Is that like the objective or your objective?
Well, that's probably more my objective. Well, in the long run of the game, you do and that's where it kind of, at least for me, this game has a lot of layers because there's kind of different characters that you can interact with to unlock other parts of the story, and there's some mystery where if you talk to one person, they'll refer you to somebody else, and so it's kind of, yes, you're dating the objects, but you're also uncovering things and learning stuff about different personalities and other things at the same time. So
Sounds good.
You have to find them all, but then you also have to develop deeper relationships to unlock more things too. So it's kind of a mystery.
How deep does it go
Dating
with the
sim.
door? How deep of a connection do you have with your door now? How does that work when you go back into your
Well-
house? Do you open the door and you're like, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend?
He actually only wants to be friends, but last stream we found out there is a way to actually make him love you. So
Ooh, okay.
Did you find the key to his heart? Yeah, the key to the door.
Nice.
just persistent enough.
Okay, I might reconsider. I might. Thank you for explaining the game a little bit more. Yeah, your
The
favorite
voice
thing
actors
today
are
is
just
the
what
door.
makes it so good too. The
Mm.
voice actors are, and they've modeled some of the characters off of the voice, both ways. I've heard they did a little bit of both, where some of the voice actors gave their opinion or they made characters that kind of either looked like or have aspects of their personality and stuff. And so that's been really neat, is to walk around and be like, wait, this is so and so.
Do they sound really
But-
hot?
Some of them not so much. And that's the thing, they did a really good job of representing everything. So they have people of different sexualities, different races, all of the genders, different sexual preferences,
I mean,
just
you can
everything,
date the
different
door.
kinks.
So
I heard
Yep.
there's a dominatrix in there. Is that true,
But
or
I
is
was
this
about
rumor?
to say they have
Really?
a Dommy Mommy safe.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
and she will buy it.
It's great.
I would not lie to you. Come on now. Of course she's in there. Awesome. But it's just that, like, the character design as well. Like, they've really interwoven, not just like the character pops out, but
Wait,
it's
have you
literally
played
like.
it too?
No, I watched it. I've not picked it up yet, but I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about picking it up. Yeah. I watched a lot of streamers interact with stuff, and that
Are
just
you
the way
gonna
that
stream it
they.
as well then?
Maybe. I'm thinking first about there's a horse racing catgirl sim. I've been pestered to play that one as well.
What?
They have
Yeah.
Sims for everything these days.
They do. It's not my call. It's like, hey, Nobbel, there's a horse racing girl, but there are cat girls that are the horses, and it's a gacha game, and you need to get it. And it's like, okay, go play it. All right, sure.
And this is what our job is. We are you know, we have people walk into our streams while you're talking about making the beavers happy by making them nice and wet, and it's again real beavers. It's a beaver game. We're dating doors. We're playing cat girl horse sims. Gloss, what's the weirdest thing you've played recently?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think real life. Other than that, I haven't really been playing any games. I'm just searching up this cat girl thing right now.
You're
I got
interested,
kinda
aren't
cu-
you? Yeah,
I
you
got kind
are.
of curious, but I really want to play the date anything because I played the 10 dates one and I really like that one. But the thing is, I'm very hooked on classic still, so I don't really play anything outside of classic and Dungeons and Dragons. Actually,
No, fair point.
That's hard though. If you're playing like an MMORPG, it's so time consuming because there's so much to do. Like, what is it that you do then in classic? Because is it now hardcore? Is it regular classic? What are you playing?
right now I play on the anniversary realm, so it's just classic.
Okay.
And I'm just very slow with going to level 60 because I don't really want to be level 60 because I love the ride towards level 60.
Yeah.
But once we hit 60, then some gearing, some raiding, probably. Yeah.
Sweet.
I
I just
will
love your
say
stream.
though, I know you said you like D&D. There is a character in Date Everything that is voiced by Matt Mercer
I'm going to buy this
and
game
does
right now.
D&D. Just saying.
I'm getting it. Done. And that's probably going to be then the weirdest thing that I have played.
Nice. I look forward to hearing how you liked it. Thank you so much for sending this game to, well, basically 3 people at this moment.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my god. Thank you guys so much. I am super excited to the next segment of Streamers and Stories. Every time I ask the streamers to prepare a story and bring it to Streamers and Stories, it can be a story about literally anything. It can be a long story, a short story, it can be whatever they want to tell. So I would love to hear the story that you guys have prepared. Nobbel, do you want to start with your story?
Oh, we'll go to Nobbel. Oh, okay. Well,
Yes.
as it's been pointed out in the chat, I been asked before the stream, like, can you prepare a story? And I tell a lot of stories on my Twitch channel, as you saw in the highlights as well. I will throw out anything, but this is going up in the records on the YouTube. So I was like, okay, I can't be sitting here telling you about how I popped an edible by mistake and went things. I can't tell you about my terrible Tinder date stories because that will not end well.
Aw. Could have been so fun to hear that.
Well, you want to hear my Tinder story, Gloss? I would be
Yes.
happy
Of
to tell you.
course.
Okay, we'll tell the Tinder story. All right. I'll take away the names. We'll do the Tinder story.
You're
Right.
so quickly Never mind. Please tell it.
Yeah,
Roll
like
the
it's so
20 on
convincing.
charisma. Let's go now.
Can you also like continue the list of all the stories you didn't want to tell, just so we can
Yeah, wait,
remember?
what are other options here?
Yeah. What are the options?
Other options about my interaction with the police as a teenager. I told those recently on the beach, and that's about where I ended up in my list until I found. So I wanted to talk about my health journey, losing like 30 kilograms and getting into exercise. But like, we were end up on the Tinder story. That's fine. So my
Well,
Tinder
maybe one story
experiences-
leads into the other story. You could tell both together.
With the edibles on top and the
With
police
segue?
from back in the day.
So I
Make
popped
it
an
all-
edible. I went up to Tinder and now the weird.
And then I started losing weight. Now, please, Nobbel, tell us the bad Tinder date experience you had.
So it's been a while ago, and at some point, like, there's also partially me. So at some point, I met somebody through Tinder who was really into politics, and I'm not massive into voting and whatnot. I think it's I got my opinions about politics, but I was like, let me be clever, let me keep my mouth shut. And we went to the beach and we went on a walk, and of course, politics came to the topic. And let me tell you, I was not smart. I did not keep my mouth shut, and that was a one date only kind of thing. Then there was somebody who I actually met through. They drove me home in the cab after the convention, and we actually got together and we got into touch. And eventually, I realized. Sorry. Eventually, I realized like things didn't work out, and I was honest about it, and that's all fine. Or we're still messaging and whatnot. And at some point, I went to a coffee shop with a friend of mine, and I got this really cute coffee with like the baristas do like a little heart in it. And I thought, oh, cute, a heart in the coffee cup. Let me send her a picture. Not realizing that the one who I was having coffee with decided to be really funny and put the middle finger in the picture. So she randomly got a picture of me with a cup of coffee, having coffee with someone else, and a middle finger. And that was my bad, totally. And I was like, all right, I completely forgot about the picture because she did not immediately throw back, like, why are you sending me this, as you would expect, right? Like, why are you sending me this picture? No. She kept it to herself. 2 weeks later, I'm in Amsterdam and I'm there with some friends, and randomly she shoots me a message like, "Hey, would you like to go for a jog?" And I was like, "Well, I'm already in Amsterdam." She messaged like, "I'm going to Amsterdam. Want to go for a jog before I go to Amsterdam?" I'm like, I'm already here. Coincidental. How fun, right? So I ask her, let me take the bait. What are you going to do in Amsterdam? And she replies, "Yes, boyfriends may come and go, but family is forever, and I'm going to visit my family in Amsterdam." To which I was like, okay, I know that I'm stepping into a trap right now, but I need to ask. That's a really weird way to reply to my question, what are you doing in Amsterdam? To which she replied, well, I find it really weird that you send me a picture with a middle finger and a cup of coffee, and then everything I've done wrong ever was done to me. I was like, ooh, okie dokie. But that's not the bad Tinder story at all. No. The real bad one.
That was the intro.
That was the interlude, how much of a jackass I can be. Here we go. Tinder. I am swiping Tinder. And I come across, that was the intro, yes. I come across somebody, and beautiful girlie, we hit it off. And she randomly throws into the conversation. So, what else do you do besides talking about the Warcraft lore? Side note, I had not mentioned anything about WoW or video games or anything. She knew me through the YouTube thing. Immediate red flag, should have called it off there. But I was like, you know what, let's see where we go. And we talk, we converse, we go to our first date, which is a pancake house, and I thought we hit it off. Like the wait staff there was like, "Oh, how did it go?" I was like, "Really cute. It was a rainy day. She had a beautiful ribbon in. It was wonderful." So I go back home. She goes back home. For record, we're both over the age of 30, right? And the second something approaches, and she messages me like, you seem awfully busy, and are you really into this? Like, I don't know, because for me, like my work takes a lot of time, right? So I'm like, I'm not always available. So I was like, okay, I am interested, I'm invested. Let me show you that I'm actually interested and invested. And as a side note, what you need to realize is she was still living at home. She needed a little bit of help, nothing wrong with that. But she still lived with her parents. So I was like, let me randomly show up and we'll go for a walk, right? Like second date, nice romantic. Let me show you that I'm invested. And I go and I try to find her house, and I ride up to her house, and she's like, "Ha, come on in. My mom would like to meet you."
On
the second
date 2?
On date 2.
Oh no.
Not No.
No.
Not and I
Mommy's
already.
girl. Mommy, I gotta approve first.
So I go into the house, I sit on the couch, and I talk to her mom, and I swear to you, the conversation goes into the direction of, yeah, if my daughter didn't live with me anymore, I would have been long gone. I would have been retired in Italy. I would do this and that. And I'm like, I'm meeting you for the first time. Are you now telling me that your daughter is like a big ball and chain? What's happening here? And I told her once we were walking outside, like, how is that happening between your mom? It's like, oh yeah, we just rip on each other. It's like, it's a little bit more than ripping on each other. But okay, whatever. So we do a walk, and during the walk, I was like, I got the vibe of, leaning in for a kiss, a little smoochy smooch. She's like, okay, I'm not comfortable with that outside. I was like, hey, cool, let's not do it. We finish a run. And at the end, she's like, okay, give me a kiss now. And I'm like, excuse me? Yeah, that's what you're here for. Just give me a kiss. I'm like, this is how you want our first kiss to be? Okay. All right. So I go away there. I was like, okay, I'm not feeling this. But then, so the third date comes around, And
Wait, there
I
was a third date after that?
I'm so invested.
I'm so
Look,
invested, but like, I
we
mean,
gotta figure
us
out where we're
more.
standing, right? We gotta figure, like, so far, okay, parents, I can understand bad parents, you gotta, we get a third date. And she wanted to really show that she was also a bit more independent and that she could organize something. And so I invited her over to dinner, and she was going to show me, like, I can get there myself, like public transport or however the hell she wanted to. She wanted to show me, like, I'm independent. So she shows up. And I ask her, like, oh, cool, how was the journey over? Yeah, my mom drove me. So, oh, okay, well, come on in. Welcome to my house. And as you could tell, this is my house. I love my house. It's my beautiful place. And again, for the record, she lives with her mum. And she sits down, and within 10 minutes, she goes around. She's like, these walls could use a bit of paint, huh? I'm like, excuse you? Yeah, it's a bit, and she started to criticize my house. I'm like, excuse you, this is my house. Where is your house? This is my beautiful place. But okay. So I go
Is it the
upstairs.
same house?
Yeah, that's in the house. It can use a bit of paint. Don't disagree. It can
let's
use
not
it
talk
Love
about
white,
the
love
paint or
white.
not. It's about 10 minutes into the third
Yeah.
date.
Yeah.
This is the conversation that's happening. Okay.
So I go upstairs, and for me, I just gotten out of a bit of a low spot. I've gained a little bit of weight. All my fancy-ass clothes don't fit, but we are going to La Cubanita, which in the Netherlands is just a chain. It's tapas, it's cocktails. You don't have to be fancy. You can sit there in your winter dress if you want to. You can sit there in your clothing outfit. It doesn't really matter. It's not fancy dining. But I still dressed up because it's a date, right? So I go downstairs a little bit, I'm not feeling massively confident. So I ask her, am I good enough to go with you on a date like this, right? Do I look, zie ik er leuk genoeg uit? And she says, yeah, of course,
That's
you
so
look
sweet.
fantastic. It's great. Let's go out. 10 minutes later, don't you have a nice jacket in your closet? And I'm like, excuse me? Yeah, sometimes I forget that I have nice clothes in the back of my closet. And at that point, I was like, okay, I don't think I want to go out for dinner anymore, but I really want to go for tapas. So we went for tapas, and it gets worse.
Okay,
trust
sorry,
me, it
but
gets
you know
worse.
you can go for
No.
tapas alone, right? Worst case scenario.
I was like, you know what? We're doing this. Let me have that final
Oh.
conversation. Let me explain to the restaurant, like, look, we're not vibing. It's not happening. All right, we tried 3 dates. It's fine. Even goede vrienden, we're gonna separate our ways. So we come back, and it's cold, and I got a scooter for my transport. I live in the town. I don't need a car. I got a scooter. It's fine. And I told her, like, look, I'm more than happy to drive you back on the scooter, but let me tell you, you're not gonna be happy. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be freezing. What do you want to do? She's like, don't worry. I'll call my parents. All right. You call your parents, and she does. Ding dong. Taxi in front of the door. And again, side note, I already explained that this isn't going anywhere. She opens the door. She talks to mom. She walks back in. My mum would love to come in for a little bit. They just drove for 30 minutes, and they would love to come in for a drink. Her and her boyfriend would love to sit down, and I was like, okay.
Oh, the mom and the
Okay.
boyfriend of the mom. Oh.
Boyfriend
Oh.
drove. Boyfriend drove. Of course. So I take him in, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get something out of this date. So I sit them down. I pour them a drink, and the boyfriend, absolute sweetheart. He was what she wanted. She wanted a guy to take care of her, like the money bank, to do everything for them, like snap your fingers, everything, right? I could see that there was very much a relation between daughter and mother and the boyfriend and what she wanted in me, but it wasn't me that kind of type. So I was talking to the boyfriend who was dealing with like work and being fired and whatnot, and I was like, okay, I know this is not going anywhere. They're gonna have a conversation when they drive home, knowing that it's not going anywhere. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. And I'm kind of feeling like we're going to retire in 5 years. And, I kind of set for life. You know what I mean? I did travel the world and do all these nice things. Of course, it's complete nonsense. But their eyes, like little big dollar signs, like, oh, what did you land? Oh. And she was sitting there knowing that it was over. And then I sent him home. And then, that was my Tinder date. Yeah. Ta-da! That was my story. Yay.
Oh
Do you
my
have more date
God.
stories? Because I could listen to you tell date stories,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
for a
yeah.
whole evening. Like this, first of all, you are so good at telling stories. A second, oh,
Like, am I the asshole in this one? Like, I'm sure that she will have her own variation, but I'm like, and every time I tell this story to somebody, and it's like, oof.
I mean, not every story has an asshole. Like,
Give me a sec.
she and you are probably just not a match. Like, not every bad dating story has an asshole in it. Like, sometimes
I
it's
think I
just
just
not.
need to go into League, to be honest, find relationships there. Although, you mentioned like League dating, WoW dating.
I
is
mean,
a
there's
good
still plenty
thing.
of assholes there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know plenty of people I met in World of Warcraft as well.
Same. So many marriages that got broken apart as well. I met a lot of people for a while as well. Like Fury is a really close friend of mine as well.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa. I said, I know so many people who met each other in WoW, and you said, yeah, so many marriages broken.
Oh yeah, Classic was a monster. Oh yeah. Okay, so hello drama time. This is my letter. So this is Classic WoW, right? I'm in a guild, and you gotta understand, in Classic WoW, we would play 24/7, and it was basically Hubba Hotel. It was a chat room. You chatted more with people than you played the game. So of course, where people are chatting, relationships are made. And
Yeah.
I am in this guild, and I'm sure I'm lost the details in the 20 years that it's been, but I remember that there was this rogue girl and this warlock guy. They were boyfriend and girlfriend together in the guild. And ultimately, she ended up with this priest in the guild. And the warlock got really upset and he threw like a rock through the window. And that was all guild drama that was happening. Yeah, yeah. And she ended up like having a baby with the priest and like getting together with him. And then there was another one that was like that was horrible. We were in a group that was constantly running like Sunken Temple and leveling together. And one of them was a tank. And this tank was married in real life to somebody that did not play WoW. And in our group, there was a night elf pretending to be a girl. And we all knew that they were pretending to be the girl, but he did not. And so they started to like communicate with each other, date with each other, send letters to each other in real life, up to the point where Mrs. Tank found those letters and was like, okay, either you stop playing WoW or we're done. And then we lost our tank for Sunken Temple, which was awful.
For you
But I'm
guys,
hoping,
yeah,
for
awful.
us, but I'm hoping that relationship is still fine. But there are so many people that like got together and broke up throughout WoW. 100%.
That was the best story I've heard all year.
I
Oh,
know,
you
right?
brought your headset. Nice.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, wireless.
Oh, that reminds me. We were playing hardcore World of Warcraft, and she was grabbing a drink, and I thought, oh, I can kill this one mob. But then there were two, and I was yelling, "Gloss, help, help!" Not knowing she would actually hear me. So she got like back, and she's like, "Kill, kill, kill!" And I survived. I will not
Wireless
forget.
headset, best thing ever.
Yeah. Oh, Novel, that was great. Let's loop back to hear if you have more dating stories in a little bit. Tiz, are you ready for your story?
I was like, I don't want to follow that. I don't.
Any Tinder stories?
So once upon a time, I took an edible, right? And I was tripping.
Yeah.
Oh
We'll just
God.
make it Noble story time. It's fine. We'll just hang.
I want to hear your story. Go on.
I don't know. It depends on. I also in the same boat where I was like, what kind of stories? So I have streaming stories. I have a lot of travel stuff. I kind of figured I'd just wing it. I was talking to you yesterday about Baldur's Gate thing, so I could do that story. Basically how I got Twitch partner, because I don't know. Have all of you guys there? Some of you played Baldur's Gate?
A lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Religiously,
And
500
have you
hours.
done?
What?
Okay, yeah. I feel like most people have. Did you guys do honor mode?
No.
Not yet.
No.
Oh, she's
So-
so disappointed in us right now. Oh my God.
No. It was my own sigh of like, oh, honor mode was. So I did honor mode. I'm now trying to do a duo honor mode, which is just and for anybody in chat who don't know what honor mode is, basically if you play Baldur's Gate, if you die, it wipes your entire game and you have to start over from the beginning. So say Act 1 takes you 40 hours, you die in Act 2, then you start all the way at the beginning and you have to play again. So when you lose an honor run, it's very hardcore. It's a little soul sucking when you die. And I think I had run through it twice, and I was doing my honor run, and it was going really, really well. For anybody who's played it before, there's the Inquisitor fight in the Creche, and I was doing that fight, and I won the fight, which is a pretty tough fight. That's one of the fights that I know some people on honor mode struggle with. And then there's a part afterwards where you have to talk to Vlaakith, the Creche god or whatever. And if you were a little bit too sassy with Vlaakith, she will smite you and you will die. And I knew this. I've played it before. I know that that's what happened. And my brain was just like in autopilot. Like I was reading chat, wasn't really paying attention, selecting answers. I tend to be a fairly sassy person and was not fully paying attention because I've played this game enough times, and I just straight up I sassed Vlaakith, And the worst part is you can sass Flacketh twice. Like, she kind of is like, are you sure you want to just like ignore this? And I was like, yeah, fuck you. And I got I died. It wiped my entire team. And I didn't even, it was kind of one of those moments that I wasn't fully focused. And then it popped up and it was like, your honor run has failed. Do you want to reload your save or like keep playing or have to start your, because you can keep playing, but you don't get hardcore at that point. And I just like sat there staring at that scene like, and I just started crying. I couldn't, it was just one of the, I had put in like, I think I was 40 or 50 hours into that game trying to level up and try to get to that point. And just to like, it was my own dumb fault for being too sassy. And I lost this game. So I was sitting there crying as I was like making a new character, being like, it's okay. We're going to get back on the horse. Everything's fine. Like, it's
Don't
okay.
you have a
like,
save
I'm fine,
game?
I'm fine.
No, it's hardcore.
So the way
it's
hardcore
Baldur's
works
Gate
is if you die,
hardcore.
yeah, you have to start over. Yeah, you have to get through the whole entire game without dying. So I like kept trying not to cry, and I just kept crying again, and I was just it was probably the most I've even cried on stream before. I don't know. I was just so upset because I'd spent so many hours in this game. And then I got a raid of 1,500 people. And I was like, I thought it was a bot raid because I've gotten bot raided before. And I was just like, I'm a mess, right? Like I had just been crying for 20 minutes. I had this raid. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I was just freaking out. And I had the Astarion sound like blurp thing. And someone was playing and it just said shit. And everyone was popping in. I didn't have a cooldown on it. So people were popping in, spamming that. And I was so confused. Like I was overwhelmed. There was this shit sound alert going off. My chat's like blowing up. I'm sitting there being like, is this a bot raid? I don't know what's happening. So it turns out it was Neil Newbon, which is Astarion's voice actor, that raided me. And I'm terrible with names. I had no idea. So for 5 minutes, I'm sitting there trying to keep up with chat. I'm like, welcome in so-and-so, welcome in so-and-so. Like the most people I'd ever had in my chat before was like 80 to 100 maybe. So I was just like, I don't know what's happening. Like if you guys aren't bots, like thank you for being here, blah, 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 blah. And so my partner comes running in the room and it was like, that's Neil Newbon. I was like, I don't know who this is. And he was like, that's Astarion's voice actor. I was like, wait, like this, like the Astarion in the game? They're like, yeah, and I was just like, and it was the most streaming moment. I blacked out entirely. I don't remember what happened. I didn't even know. Like, I went back afterwards and like watched the VOD because I was just fully, it's like one of those streaming moments. I don't know if you've kind of had it where like something crazy happens and you're like shaking and you're like, so that that happened. And then half his community was just like, you're ridiculous, but we had fun, so they stuck around. And then me playing Baldur's Gate is essentially what ended up helping me get partner, because they all stuck around to see me try to do my next hardcore run, which I did win. So I did.
Congrats. That's
I'd like to
impressive.
say it was my first. I won hardcore on my first try with fights. Just if it wasn't for the quick sassy detour, it would have been fine. But yeah, that was my big stream thing. And it was funny because he actually did raid me a second time later on. And I was like, okay, this time I know how to handle this. Welcome in, everyone.
Aw, nice.
Like, thank you so much, and I appreciate it and all of that. But that's probably my like craziest stream related story, I guess.
That was a really
like
good
how I got
story.
partner and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. And it was a great story to follow. Like, it's also a really good story. Thank you so much for
I
sharing
liked it way better. That ending was way better.
There's no
yes,
better.
it's a competition. We're rating this. Yes, in the comments, let know.
Oh,
How
Dear
many
Lord.
points does each story get?
Exactly. We're playing League now. We're competitive.
Okay, guys. Well, let's see if this video gets the most YouTube comments out of all of the streamers and stories.
Now we all have to hype it up.
Oh. Well, thank you for sharing your story. Yeah, the YouTube in Nobbel comes out. Yeah, I had actually the whole story of you don't know who someone is. I had that like, I think it was 6 years ago. I was playing World of Warcraft, and all of a sudden this guy comes in my chat and says hi, and his name is like Nobbel. Never seen that name. And I didn't watch Twitch, didn't watch YouTube. I play a game and that's about it. And my chat goes like, "That's the Nobbel. That's the Nobbel." And I still didn't know who that was. And like, there's two people that I remember this so vividly because they sub to my channel saying like, if Nobbel watches this, then it should be good. So these random people. So for the first month, I get follows because this Nobbel is in my chat, and I was like,
Should happen again, to be honest.
they
Everybody
are
should right now.
trolling me. I was so convinced at that point that Nobbel was sowieso nobody. I went Dutch again.
So.
But I was so convinced, like, my chat is trolling me again because they were like my regulars that were like, "That's Nobbel. Don't you know who Nobbel is?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm."
That's the
But
hardest
then
part.
with
You
the
never
two
know if chat is
subs, they
trolling
threw
you
me
or they're
off.
serious.
Yeah, but then afterwards, I checked like YouTube and I was like Nobbel, and I was like, but he's pretty big. Like, what should he do in my Twitch chat? And that's what I like so much about Twitch. We're all just also human, I guess, a
Yeah.
little bit.
I guess.
I guess, sort of, sometimes.
For the most part.
I mean, that pulls me in the most, to be honest. Like, that's often people are like, "Oh my god, what do you do in my chat?" and hanging around. Like, before you hear me type in chat, I've already been lurking for like an hour. And it's your personality and it's your down to earthness that drags you in. It's the fun of your stream. So whenever you're like, "Oh my god, they're in my chat," nah, they're in your chat because of you. That's why I stick around that way.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll forever remember that moment. And that's when I thought maybe I should learn who everyone is, like other streamers and YouTubers and people, and I still don't know. Like
Terrible name. It's awful.
I have that at TwitchCon as well. Then I talk to someone, and later on, someone comes to me and is like, "Do you know them?" And I was like, No, I just met them. What's wrong?" And they're like, "They're so big," and I'm like,
They're so big.
"That's so cool." Like, I don't know. I just had a nice conversation. It's just, yeah. I don't know. It's just, but yeah. Funny that I didn't know you.
Yeah,
Astarion.
relatable.
I know because I had someone so fangirling over Astarion, Aske. She was actually also a guest on the podcast, and her story was also how Baldur's Gate, in a different way, got her to be Twitch partner. So that's pretty cool.
Baldur's Gate.
But she talked so much about Astarion that I even know that Neil is Astarion and the other way around. Like that's the one that struck. Yeah. I still
had
know
no
that my
idea.
chat is like trying to teach me some names. Nox, I don't even know what you were doing. They try to like donate 100 bits every day with a message like, "This person is that actor," in the hopes that I would remember. I forgot.
Neil's a sweetheart, though. Like, their streams as well. And Astarion was my first love interest, actually, in Baldur's Gate. Back in the day when they hadn't cranked up those levers yet and everybody was just super horny for each other. Astarion was the first step up. And to this day, my favorite love story in the whole thing. Spoilers. I'm not going to go spoilers, but the whole thing.
Spoilers, like my first playthrough in Baldur's Gate, Astarion tries to bite me in the night and I murder him. And then all of a sudden, the whole internet's blowing up about Astarion, and I'm like, well, he's dead. Like, I
That's
don't
how
know.
he shows he loves you. It's like little love bites.
Yeah. I'm in my Dark Urge run. I'm romancing him.
She's like, yeah,
and
I've done
he's
it now.
so into me, but he also doesn't like me because I'm small. But like, he's super into me. It's cool.
As he should be.
I start to understand why people like Astarion. His romance is like super good.
Especially the later game. I hadn't played that romance for a while, and I did one of my Dark Urge runs, and I was like, okay, I guess I can see it.
It's so good. It's so good.
We can all agree that Gil is the worst,
fan,
right?
So what?
We can all agree that Gil is the worst.
Yeah,
No,
I tried to romance
Astarion
that
is the
sick
worst. I love
fuck.
Gale.
I tried to romance him, and he was like sort of into me, but constantly whining about his ex. And then in the end, he rather like rule the world than date me, like dick.
I think it might be Will, because Will's kind of boring. He's just, I've heard they changed his character a little bit, and he just turned into a little bit of a wet noodle. So,
I really want to date Karlak.
Karlak is best.
Oh my god, she's so
Karlak.
stunning.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gloska, do you want to share your story with us?
I'm just sitting here. I can't relate. I can't relate.
Oh yeah, I did have Lizelle and Shadowheart romance each other with a very explicit scene, which got me YouTube partner. That's why Baldur's Gate is why I got YouTube partner. It was Lizelle and Shadowheart, and then of course the theme song of Raphael. That's still getting me one euro every month on YouTube because people keep watching it. But yeah, apparently Lizelle and Shadowheart romancing is something that everybody thought was a bug, but it's possible. Yeah.
Wait, so how
Well
did
done.
you didn't you just play as those characters and get them to interact with each
No,
other?
I was my character, but it might have been a bug,
Oh,
but
weird.
I chose
Oh.
some things and then all of a sudden I was having sex and I was both of them in the scene and made the decisions in their conversation.
Yeah, that must have been a bug then. Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
That's when I noticed that like the you should put like the little leaves on because otherwise it's very naked. It's this, and I was like streaming like yeah. Oh my god.
It's crazy how
Yeah.
the romances work. Whenever I'm playing a game with romance, I'm like, guys, I got this. Let's go on. I love flirting. I love the love, but nobody loved me. Nobody wants to date me in game. I always choose the wrong options, and I'm sitting here like, what am I doing wrong? I should just
They
watch your
call-
streams more, Vieve, and then just copy whatever answer you give, and then just roll with it.
And then
We
you
had
can
a
have the Lizelle
hashtag
and
no riz.
Shadowheart. They're kinky for each other. They're like it's yeah. Anyway, it's on my YouTube.
No. Well, I was gonna
I'll
say,
send you the
Gloss, I
link.
totally feel your pain though, because my chat had a hashtag no riz tiz for my first like 2 runs because I could not make anyone. I had to do a pity romance with Halson my first run because no one else would love me, and he
Pity
was like, "Well, I
romance.
guess I'll take you." Like, so I feel that.
I constantly have
mean-
to choose between them. Like in my second run, it's like I have
Stop flexing,
Astarion
Vieve.
and
Wow,
Stop
wow, it's
flexing.
Drowning. Drowning, we're all of a thirsty.
Okay,
love
I
it,
might
though.
start up Baldur's Gate again after the kitty girl horse thing.
Yeah, I also have to start Baldur's Gate. I have to like seal the deal with Astarion. I think we only got into the kissing phase. No, we went way beyond. Anyway, I'll
His best moment, actually, that's why I didn't want to talk spoilers. His best moment comes near the end. That's when I'm like, oh, okay, this solidifies.
yeah,
and
now
there's
Act
such
3 already, I guess, or end Act 2. I guess anyway. Okay, yeah, I'll get there. I'm gonna throw it back on my stream rotation. Gloska, do you want to share your story?
Yeah, so I thought about this a lot. I have a lot to tell, but a lot of it is Monka TOS. So
Oh, I want those stories. Yes, please.
We can.
and I don't want to name drop either because I got good stories on that as well. So I really did not know what to tell you, but then I realized, you know, what if I tell you guys about the best day of my life?
That sounds amazing.
That
I'm
sounds
ready.
super cool.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. But the thing is, it happened like a while ago, and I didn't know how to say it properly, so I wrote it down D&D style. So I don't know if you guys want me to read it or actually just
do your thing. It's your
spontaneous.
story. You decide how you tell it.
It's my story. I don't think many people know this, but it's actually it's very deep. Okay, it's okay. Let's start. So the best day of my life. It happened in Cape Town in South Africa. I was there doing volunteer work. So I was doing all the touristy things on my days off. And one day I went to the Cape Point, which is the most southern part of Cape Town, where the Atlantic and the Indian Ocean collide. So what you see is massive waves. It was unlike anything I've ever seen before. It was like a battle of nature going on there. And as I looked below the cliffs, I saw a shadowed beach that caught my eye. So I climbed down, adventure style. There were a few people there. It was a very, very small beach. And I thought there's more to this beach. So as I ventured further, the cliffs stretched on and on and on. I had Google Maps, so I could kind of see the cliffside going all around. So I started climbing around the cliffs. and I found little scattered patches of sand. You can't really call them beaches. It had rusted wreckages of old ships and strange sea creatures in the tide pools that were there. So I just stopped and was captivated because, okay, cool. But there has to be more. So I kept going. And then I rounded one last narrow bend. And the rock gave way to something I did not expect. It was a long, stretched out part of sand. I wouldn't call it a beach. It was still too small to be called a beach. Lots of rocks on there. And I could tell that people don't go here because it was really, really dangerous to climb there on the cliffs. And at the far end of this beach, I saw a cave. And I knew I accept this quest instantly. So I went there. I knew the tide was rising, and I knew I should have turned back at that point, but I didn't. And the air inside the cave, when I went in, it was really cold and damp. So I turned on my phone flashlight, but the darkness just consumed the entire light. I couldn't see anything, but still, I walked in. And that's when I saw them. Dozens of dead birds scattered across the floor, as they had fallen from some kind of weird ritual. It was so creepy. I remember the warnings that the locals gave me. There are baboons. They're very unpredictable. They're very territorial. But I looked around and I thought, there's no way that baboons would climb down here because it's just way too dangerous. And then I realized no one knew where I was. No boats, no signal, no rescue, and if I screamed, nobody could possibly hear it. But at that moment, I realized I was not afraid, but I felt alive, stripped from noise of people and the endless timelines. It was just me and the earth. So the deeper I went into this cave, the path narrowed, and eventually the floor disappeared beneath the stone, so I had to stop. And I turned back. When I went outside of the cave, the ocean had changed while I was inside. The tide had surged so fast, and the narrow ledge I climbed was now half drowned. So every wave snapped my heels and tried to drag me into the ocean, and it was very hard to keep balance with all the algae on the rocks. So at some point, a rogue wave caught me, and I caught off balance, and for one split second, I thought that the ocean would swallow me whole. But when I found my balance, I returned to the beach, and as the sun dipped below the horizon, I knew that nobody would believe what I saw, but I didn't need them to, because that cave is mine now. It's carved into my memory. That was the day that the world opened its mouth, and I walked right in. That was the day I found freedom in the unknown. That was the best day of my life.
Wow.
Wow, that was beautiful, man. Wow.
Oh my god, I love your storytelling. It's so good.
I thought I could tell it from my head, but if I write it down, I kind of want to bring the feeling that I had then. It was, you're alone, but you also feel found in a way. So yeah, 100%, best day of my life.
Have you refound that feeling anywhere?
Sorry?
Have you ever refound that feeling anywhere?
Absolutely not. No. I feel like it was really, really dangerous, and I feel like not many people have been at that spot. I feel like that was a spot of the earth that was not meant to be found, but yet I went there and touched it. It felt kind of cursed in a way.
Yeah, what about the dead
Uh,
birds?
I do not know. And I looked it up on Google Maps after. You cannot see the cave on Google Maps. But if you look at the way that I climbed along the cliffside, it's a long way. Like, I climbed for hours. Like, you're not supposed to be there at all. And I will never go there again because it was really, really dangerous. But might have been something satisfying about going on a real adventure that's actually dangerous, you know?
Mhm.
That's really awesome. That's a really cool story. Thank you so much for sharing it. And
Thank you
I
for listening.
more.
I feel like I just did like a PowerPoint presentation.
Wait, you got more moments like that, or what? Did you get more revelations in Africa? Like, what happened?
No, in Africa, that was the best day of my life. I knew instantly, wow, I've never felt this way, and I'm probably never gonna feel like this ever again. In Africa, a lot has happened, a lot of dangerous stuff. I'd rather not talk about it here. I don't want to give a bad rap, you know, to South Africa. It's a bit monk-ass. But from all the stories, the crazy stories that I have, this one was, I mean, it's the best day of my life. So
I love it,
I'm
and I
gonna
love
share
how
it.
you tell it. And for the people who like Gloske's storytelling, I know she does some stories on her YouTube. So, girl, put your link in chat and like share it because your storytelling is amazing. It's really
I love
cool.
storytelling, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like, ooh, dude, you said make a story, and I was like, am I supposed to write it down? Am I just supposed to tell it like
This is
spontaneously? But when I tell it spontaneously, I get so excited I forget important details.
yeah,
So this was the perfect way to tell it, just like D&D style, you know.
love it.
So do you DM too? Or do
Yeah,
you
I'm a
just like
DM as well.
okay,
Yeah.
that's what you can tell. I was like, that's
Thank you.
storytelling, it's too good.
That's the best compliment I've gotten. Thank you so much. Yes.
Oh, it's great.
Cool. I saw someone say like, "Oh my god, that could have been the start of a horror story." The story I'm gonna tell, because last time I started telling a story as well, because someone said like, "You're taking the easy road out, having streamers and stories, and not share a story of yourself every time." So my story this time is, well, some people say also a bit of a, yeah, it could have been a bad story if it was with different people, but it was with really awesome people. And I just got engaged last Saturday, so I thought, why don't I tell the story? Oh, my cat is, by the way, by the button, so let's make sure that he doesn't. My cat is constantly muting everything. Okay, good.
That's done with the show. It's
She
like, I'm
uses this.
done.
Yeah, she uses the Stream Deck as a pillow, which is awesome. But my Stream Deck is filled with buttons that should not be touched right now. Um. Anyway, so my story is about the day we met. And that was like, oh my god, it's so difficult right now. Like you wrote it down. I wish I did so I could just tell it now instead of having to find my words. But it was in 2016. It wasn't the year we started dating at all. But in 2016 at Snakeweek, which is a big festival in the north of the Netherlands, where I always go because my mother lives in that area. There was this super big festival with like live music and bands, and me and my mom were going into the city, and we were dancing. And after a while, I think it started to rain, or we wanted to sit for a little bit. So we sat down and we ordered some drinks. And after a while, I saw these two people next to me, and there was this guy and this girl, and the girl was braiding the hair of the guy, but they didn't have like a band to like wrap the hair. So I said like, "Hey, do you need mine?" And they were like, "Yeah, nice." And they put their chairs with us, and we started talking about Snake Week and how they were doing that with their family, with their friends every year. And I said, like, well, ever since I'm 15, I always celebrate this. And it's a bit of a tradition with my mom to go into the city. And
Wait, can I ask?
yeah,
So it's the two of you and the two of them. So you sit together at a table, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
yeah. And after a while, some more people of their friends group joined. And one of the people that joined was now my fiance. Yeah. Um, Problem is, well, actually, that's a whole different story. Never mind. So, my mom, no, okay, I'll tell. So, problem is, his friends group is like good in the bro code. So, apparently, there was an interest in me from the first guy, the one whose hair was being braided. So he got dibs on me, and due to the bro code, all the other guys were like, "Okay, she's his." And we will try to do everything to make that work for them. This is not the guy who's now my fiance, unfortunately, for for him, or not. He's hopefully over it by now. Anyway, so we were now with the big group. My mom was just getting inside to get some beers. She comes back with the 4 beers for the 2 people and us 2. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. And she puts down the 4 beers. We start drinking. The group expands. They were with a really big group. And after a while, my mom said, like, well, you found nice people. You go do this. And I'm gonna meet my boyfriend in the bar where more of her age category people were. So she went to a different bar and I stayed with this group. And the evening went longer and longer. And after a while, uh, the outdoor music stopped. And they had said like, oh, and we're on this island and blah, 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 blah. And it was, I think, 1 a.m. And we were going from bar to bar, but none of the bars felt good. So they said like, we're gonna make a campfire on this uninhabited island, and you can join us if you want. So we walked to their boats, and at this moment, the girl that was braiding the hair was already gone. I don't know where she went, and it was just a bunch of guys. And I stepped on the boat, and the first thing I was like, "Oh, there's the girl," because she was like passed out in the boat somewhere in the like sleeping. It's a boat where you can go in. Um, and I step on the oh no, I called my mom. So I was calling my mom and both of us had some beers because I was like, I don't know if I get home tonight and she shouldn't be worried. So I remember saying to my mom, "Hey mom, by the way, those people we met, I'm going with them to the uninhabited island to make a campfire and drink some more beers." And she was like, "Okay, darling, have fun. See you tomorrow." And
She did not.
at that moment, I went on the boat with these guys. And again, like back when I returned, people were like, "You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. It could have been a horror story." I'm now engaged. It went well, guys. So we go to the pitch dark of the night, get at some point stopped by the police, and one of the guys has to like blaascontrole. How do you say that when you're tested for alcohol?
Like a breathalyzer?
Yeah. And they
Okay,
had
yeah.
one guy who was sober. I didn't know that, but good for them because they knew the police would check in. And we arrive at this island, have a campfire, have a lot of beers. I talk a lot with a lot of the people. I think I already like the guy that's now my fiance, but you never know for
Aw.
certain after so much years. He probably liked me. We took some pictures of each other that we now have, so we probably. Anyway, it is night. People are going to their tents. Like again, there was this one guy who called dibs on me, so everybody is like pushing me a little bit to like go into that tent. I didn't have an interest in that particular guy. He was super friendly, like very nice guy. I actually after a
For the
while
record, how
thought,
old
well,
were you at
fuck,
this
I
time?
need to sleep anyway. So I said like, I can sleep in your tent, but it's only sleeping. He was okay with that. But I felt so awkward being in a tent with a guy I didn't have like anything with. So I kind of went out, sat outside for a little bit, and then the
Wait, can we
sun.
ask questions
Yeah. What?
for the story?
Yeah.
Well, Noble asked how old were you, and I wonder. So the two of you that were at the table, that was not your current
Yes.
hubby
Yeah.
included.
Yeah.
That was just a
No,
friend of a friend.
I met 2 of his friends, and current fiance came in later. And how old was
Okay.
I? I think this was 9 years ago. So how old am I right now? I always find that a difficult question. I think I was like 22, 23 or something.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, people are trying to push you into a tent, and it's like, what age are you? Okay,
Oh yeah, I
22,
was not a
going
teenager.
around.
No. And they were around the same age as me. I think they were all like a year younger even. I'm older than my boyfriend, only like 6 months, but still. Anyway,
Mommy.
after a while, I see the sun come up and the water is beautiful, and I'm on this fucking island, and I don't know how to get off. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna take ages because we had so much beer. We went to bed at like 5 or 6 a.m. there's all these guys that are probably gonna sleep for forever, and the girl who was already passed out the day before. So what am I gonna do? I sit at the water, and after a while, I see this little tiny rubber boat with a little girl in it. I think she was like 5, 6, 7 or something, and her dad. And she was getting her first like test drive of learning how to steer the boat. So I go like, "Hey, goedemorgen, good morning. Could you like please deliver me to Start Island? Because Start Island is another island, and I know there's a ferry that goes from there to like the shore. And from the shore, I would be able to walk home or something, or take a bus or anything." Um, so I asked that, and I see this guy looking at me like, I am not going to take this girl, like, hell no. And the girl is like, "Oh, Dad, that's so cool. We can help her." And he was like, "Shit, this
Aw.
is a lesson. I need to take this girl on." And I step into the boat, smelling like beer, of course, haven't slept, probably looking like, well, a long night. And he's like, "So, did you have a good evening?" Giving me the look like, "Little girl, you behave." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it was super lovely." And we have this nice little conversation. And then his parenting instinct was like, "Okay, so now we're going to get some waves," because they had to like, they were supposed to only go back and forward in the super clean water. And now they had to go to the next island, which was a little bit more tough water because there's, well, things. So it was for her very educational. And for me, very great. So I am dropped off at Start Island. Great island. I've worked there when I was a teenager, so I know some people. I tried not to meet any one of that. And went to the ferry. I had 2% on my phone. So I just texted my mom, like, on my way home now. And she calls me. She's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, now at Start Island, almost taking the ferry, and then I hope I can take the bus." And she's like, "Oh, I'll pick you up." Because my mom was already awake, because I don't know, cats, dogs, I don't know why she was awake at this hour. Um, and that's how I got home again. Well, yeah, let's just keep the story here. Otherwise, it gets really, really, really long. And
No, because it was about your hubby. So did
yeah,
he
but now
come
I
back?
know
Did he
this is
call
okay,
you?
okay. Yeah. So
What happened?
at the drunk nights, we were talking about sailing because I love sailing, and so does my fiance, and the other guys. It's a sailing vacation that they were doing. Um, so after a day, I got a text like, "Hey, did you get home safe?" Because these guys just woke up, and they were convinced there was this girl, but also she wasn't there. And they're on an island, and they had the only boat, to their knowledge. And they were like, "How, where, what, huh?" And apparently they never figured it out. And they thought they were so confused, and they decided to text me like a day later, or like late that day. Um, and my
Wait,
now
so they didn't call
fiance,
the police or anything? Like, they just waited a day until to reach out to you, like,
I think they had a
"So,
really
were you
bad
an illusion?"
hangover.
Are
Like,
you
I think I got the text
alive?
like in the evening. So I guess they looked at the island or so. I don't know, guy. This is not the most responsible people,
No,
maybe. But
no.
actually, no, they had the one sober guy. They were very responsible. They're awesome. Um, anyway, I got a text, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to go sailing? Because the last day, we're only with two. And that is my now fiance and the guy who called dibs. And the last day, it was raining. It was pouring rain. It was nonstop raining. So we're at Start Island because they have a little cafe there, and we were playing uh, a card game, something with the name King in it, and it was super fun. But after a while, I said like, "Hey, are we gonna sail or what?" And that's what my boyfriend likes to say is the moment he fell in love with me, because we went sailing then, and it was pouring rain, and it was like we were fully soaked. Now my mom
What
lives
about
near
the
the,
bro code? What
I-
happened there? What is a bro code like?
yeah, the bro code was that still nothing happened. Nothing happened until 4 years later when we finally started dating.
4 years?
Yeah, this was just the story when we
Wow.
met, and
How did you keep contact?
we
Yeah, like you
didn't.
went sailing.
4 years
What?
later, he responded to one of my Instagram posts. I posted in the heat wave during Corona a picture, and I said, "Are you team sun or team shade?" And he said, "Where's team wind?" And then I slid in his DMs and was like, "Hey, are you gonna sail this summer?" And he was like, "Well, are we gonna sail?" And then all of a sudden we started dated, and now he's my fiance.
Eh,
Yeah.
I love
All right.
that.
Wait, so did you guys not talk for 4 years in between when you met
No,
and
we
that
just
point
had a
though?
super cool weekend. Like we didn't kiss. I also
Interesting.
or anything back then. It's just I liked him. Yeah.
Super
What happened?
undercover. He's a rogue.
What
Yeah,
happened to the break
also
guy
like
then?
when we met them, my mom said like, "Oh my god, that's a really nice guy for you." So I was like not that interested anymore after that.
Right, because mom was in. Okay, but like the guy, the bro code guy, the Brady guy, like you're not in contact anymore. I take it.
Well, we went to a Rammstein concert. He was there with he's still part of the friend group, but he's not the very
Okay.
active part of the friend group. He doesn't meet the friend group that often. Just a few of the friends, so I don't really see. Also, the part of the bro code, I think those things age, right? 4 years later, we started dating.
This is so
Okay.
cute.
Bro
Okay,
code for
Noble
life.
is looking. Noble is like,
No, I'm
well,
kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
no,
No, no, no.
I'm a
Yeah.
dude, and the bro code doesn't have an expiry date. You are, my lady, a wrongdoer. Okay, sorry.
Nah, we kind of dropped that bro code at like 16 eventually, but okay.
But what is the bro code? Like,
That's just rules of
what is it?
engagement for the guys, to be honest. Like little rules you make with each other. Like if you see somebody you don't want to get into each other's way, so you're like, okay, you got dips on it, and then the other guys help out. It's basically you got girl code, don't you?
It's like you can't date somebody else. Like if someone's like, "Oh, I find you attractive," then you're like
It's they
calling
want to
dibs
give
on
each
them
other the
essentially. Yeah.
chance. So when the one guy said like, "Oh, we just met this girl, I like her," all the guys were like, "Okay, he likes her. Let's give him his shot." And he
So
had
it's
his
calling
shot.
shotgun on a person.
Yeah,
That's
And
yeah,
then the
that's
bro
kind of what
code.
dibs and bro code are.
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
that's kind of like the bro code is like,
That's
okay, you got dips,
yeah.
so we're not gonna stand in your way. We're not gonna make our move, because then you're just conflict with each other. Instead,
Yeah.
you'll help
Well, and I
her
guess
So
out,
there's
she's a wingman.
at least here the bro code too is like usually like you wouldn't date somebody else's like ex-girlfriend or something, right? Like if you're best friends, and obviously sometimes it still happens, but it's like bro
but you
code to be
ask
like, well, you don't want to like flirt with
permission.
someone's
Like if you
ex
go
or
on a
something.
date with the ex of a good friend, you always
Yeah.
have that talk first. Like, "Hey, I kind of like your ex. Can I date?"
Yeah,
And then they
exactly.
say
And usually
no, and then the day later
Because if
they
there's
say
not a
sure.
conversation,
Yeah,
it's against bro code.
yeah,
usually like the council convenes, and then they're like, okay, we can't manage this with words, and we'll just put you in a pit, and then you have to fight over it, and whoever gets out of the
Mhm.
pit alive gets to date each other, and it's great. It's real simple. Yeah.
But they don't talk about it.
Nah, don't talk about it. Don't talk about bro code.
Oh,
Like Fight
this
Club.
this
Don't
has
talk
been
about it.
spoken about a lot. Yeah.
Have you never experienced bro code, Gloska? Really?
I don't know. I guess if you what I think, if you go out and I'm a guy and I'm with my guy friends and there's a girl and my boy is like, "Yo, she hot. I want to like try and do my charisma checks and stuff." Then I should be like, "Okay, dude, let's go." But what if she
Exactly.
likes me more?
Well, that was exactly the case.
Then the bro code is
Then
like, nah, you arranged that he was gonna have a shot, and you're like, step back on it. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
man. And then gotta
You
talk to each
become
other.
wingman.
Yeah.
you have to become women. But how does that, if you're both interested in the same girl, do we have to like say it? Dips or some
Yeah,
word
you
or
have to
something
say
that something
dips. You have to
activates?
call dips. It's not automatic dips. It's not if you see a girl, you own her. But if you say like, "Hey, I like to shoot my shots," then you still
Rock,
don't
paper,
own her.
scissors. Yeah.
This is
You
really
rock, paper,
interesting. But what if you both like her? Do you then like do like a strategy where you distance yourself and then one goes in and then the other goes in and then
No,
see who
the
has
first
like
one
the
who
most
saw the
interest?
girl can try.
Oh, so okay, yeah. So it's shotgun kind of thing. The
Yeah.
first one who saw the
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, and
You
that's
talk
why it
over
was
it
so
and-
relevant that the two people at the table was not my fiance, but the other guy. He was there first. He saw me first. I interacted with him. first. So
Pretty
That's
fair.
such a weird rule.
that's why he
actually.
I mean, I
claimed.
think it depends on the conversation though too. Like that's kind of like the unspoken bro code kind of thing. But like if there's a situation where the girl ends up liking one of the guys out instead, then the guys might be like, all right, you know,
But there's
go
also this
ahead.
girl
Like,
codes. I used to, when
yeah,
we
yeah.
would go out, like I would madly fall in love. Like I had big crushes, but I would never talk about them. But then my best friend would be like, "Oh, I like him," and I was like, "Oh no, she called it, so now it's his first." And I would like be fucked again. And then every time we had the same type, but she always won because she was like very outspoken and I was like very shy.
What
So
is
yeah.
the type? What is the type?
Well, back then I was very alternative, so let's not talk about like the emo guys that always
Oh,
had
with like
my,
the hair, like
with
like
the
this.
hair and the yeah.
Okay.
Actually, my fiance, if he's very hangover and tired, he looks a little bit like a pirate because it seems I thought he was wearing eyeliner when we met the first time, but that's just when he's tired and hangover. He gets this black line under his eye. Very sexy.
Very sexy.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
maybe he wants a
sexy
drink,
hungover
Vievs.
pirate.
Maybe you need to check up on it.
Oh, yeah. No,
You're
this is
really old,
before
huh?
C. This is before C. My best friend C and I, we met when we were 19, 20. So this is like all teenage years. Yeah. Yeah, the real question is, would he be your fiance if he shot his shot back then? I'm so happy he didn't. We didn't, because after that, I mean, I did my master's degree. I lived in San Francisco for 3 months. I started streaming. I did so many things that I'm not sure I would have done if I was in a serious relationship.
Can I
But yeah.
ask? So,
Yeah.
were you already streaming when he came into your life, or
No,
did you
like
do it after
two
that?
years
And what did
later.
he think about it? Because you're getting a lot of attention online, right? So, what did he
I
think
was
about
already
that?
streaming when we were dating. It's funny, one of his other friends from the friend group actually knew me because he used to watch my stream. Nowadays, he's never here anymore. And
Aw.
no, he loves it. He liked me. So the fact that I'm a streamer is obviously a really big part of that. Like I have been always very serious about it, and I used to just not have that much time because I was always working and streaming. But I used to live in like a teeny tiny apartment in Amsterdam. So basically my setup was more than half of my room. So it was just omnipresent that I was a streamer. There was no way out. Like my whole room was my streaming setup, two chairs with a tiny table that would always flip, and a bed. That was it. It was just game streaming is my thing. So obviously, yeah, he likes it. And he's always at all the I organize FIFCon every year. And he's always there and he joins me at TwitchCon and he knows the community. Actually, Saturday, I'll have a barbecue organized by my community to celebrate our engagement and everything. So, yeah,
You find
I
it
always said
difficult,
I'm
by the
married
way.
to the stream, and if he's part of that, he marries the stream as well. So I guess he's doing that. So
Do you
yeah.
find it difficult to make the step between knowing people online and Twitch and actually inviting them into your real life circles?
I don't know. It's just I always have like events. So it's like FIFCon is just everybody meeting up, and TwitchCon is everybody meeting up, and this barbecue is also again with a whole group of people, and I love it. I really love my community a lot, and without them, like I am doing my dream, my passion, my everything. We had Vievs as well. I hosted a super big Christmas dinner where 26 people came fully dressed in gala clothing and suits. I absolutely love it, and I think one of the things I did social studies before, and I just love building community and bringing people together and trying to make people's life a teeny tiny bit better. And I think part of that is, being in contact with other people. And if I can organize a fun day for my community, like they give me so much, like it's the least I can do to do back and hang out and have some beers with them. Like it's mostly with a lot of beers and sushi, and it's just so
Mm.
much fun. Yeah.
Cute.
Have you never met people from your community?
Yeah, but never at my own hosted conventions. I've had it in the wild once in Amsterdam where I entered a random pub and somebody that was working behind the bar recognized me. That was the one and only time. It was awesome. But beyond that, it's purely been at other people's conventions. So I've never had the barrier between my real life and my work life separated. Like you would be organizing and hosting it for yourself. Would still be a convention, don't get me wrong, but I would feel extremely responsible for whatever happens at it. And it's like my invite and my people, we want everybody to have a good time. It's the responsibility that always held me off on it.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
stress to organize everything, make sure everybody is happy and all of that, but that's
Mm.
also really nice. Yeah. I don't know. I just do super chill things. I just saw a picture in 2020 was the first VievCon. And that was we went to an arcade and after that we went for dinner. It was super casual. Like we always go to another place and then we went bowling once and then went out for dinner. We went to sushi once and then for live music and with Vievmus it was just a dinner reservation. So I love that everybody in chat's now telling them what they drink. Okay, it's not only beer. For me, it's often beer. I'm sorry. It's also soda. It's also wine. It's also virgin mojitos. But
Oh,
yeah,
yummy.
I would definitely
Alcohol.
recommend it, Noble. If you ever want, like, just organize a Noble con.
Well, people have said that, like, organize a NobCon, but I just know that that's gonna draw in the crowd. I'm just gonna name it something else. Can't do NobCon.
Noble IRL, the big meetup, fancy beers, and Vivo might be also there. Yeah.
Make a poster out of it. Yeah.
Ah, I can edit that in like Paint.
Oh yeah, we'll get a Paint exclusive. Let's go for it.
Yeah. Now, I
And
would
for your kids
definitely
and
recommend it,
everything.
but only if you
Mm.
want it. It's like I know a lot of people want to keep a boundary between personal life and work life. It also depends on what you put on it. Like for me, it's still like also work life. I do this because it's my community. But yeah, it's for me really weird. Like the stream is one of my best friends. Not someone from the stream, but the stream as a whole. So it's a bit, yeah, weird. But I've been streaming for 7 years now, and like I think now 8,000 hours I've been talking with and to these people. One of my mods sent me a message and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm getting a new brother," and I was like, "New brother," and I was like, "Well, I talk more to you than my sister, so basically you're kind of my little sister, and you're getting engaged, so like he's now gonna be part of the family," and I thought that was so cute. And
Mm.
yeah, the boundaries every now and then blur a little bit, but I think everybody knows also that there are boundaries, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah, I
gotta
hope so.
make that clear for sure. By
Yeah.
the way, I saw people talk about glow sticks in the chat, so I'm just gonna put up glow sticks for you, Vieve,
Thank you.
just celebrate you and the hubby.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do think
Tiz,
it's
have you
interesting
ever organized
talking.
a convention or something?
Well, it's funny that that's actually what I was just about to say is that I think it's a little bit different being in Europe than it is in the US, just because everything is so spread out here that like right now I live in the middle of nowhere. Like no one would be within at least 5 to 12 hours drive from me,
Mm.
and like there's no direct flights. Like it would be so tough to do that unless it was like traveling somewhere. So like for me, it's always easiest to just do Twitch cons or events where then you can just let everyone know like, hey, we'll just meet up at these places.
Are you going to San Diego at TwitchCon?
Yeah, I am. Are you going?
Vieve, we
hope
have to
so.
go.
I hope so. I have
Yes, you guys should
funds.
come.
We have to.
Yeah,
Funds.
I was just so I mean, and that's kind of why I ended up going to both this year too, is because I stream earlier in the day, and most of my friends are EU time zone anyway, and so I found that I actually knew more people going to the EU TwitchCon than I do here, and that's the nice part is like so I did a one-way flight before TwitchCon, and I ended up being in Europe for two months. Did like 7 different
Oh.
countries and just bopped around and stayed with a bunch of community members and
Wait, you stayed at their
went to
place?
TwitchCon. Yeah. So I like Akari, he's in chat. I stayed in Sweden with him for a couple weeks.
Look
And then
at
I
them.
stayed
So
with
how do you deal with the
another.
boundaries then?
Yeah, so I mean it's been a long process of learning, and actually this trip taught me a lot about just kind of the difference between people that you get along with and like in small doses and people that you can stay with. I feel like there's a very big difference, and like how long you're staying with them too. Like Akari and I get along great. We can well, hopefully he agrees. But we can it was very easy to hang out there, whereas like there's a couple other places that, you know, within a day or two I was like, okay, I'm ready to go to the next place.
I
Oh,
would
you
not
just
dare
were like,
to
okay, I'm gonna go somewhere else
sleep
now.
at
Well,
any of
I'm
their houses.
some
Like,
of them
no
I had to
offense,
stick
but
it
like,
out.
oh, that sounds.
Yeah. Well, so for me too, so I've been a solo female traveler for the last like 9 years. Like I studied abroad in college and then kind of got the travel bug then, and then have just done like I did a year in Asia. I did like 6 months in Europe. So I've done a lot of like traveling and staying in hostels and that kind of trip already. So for me, just like dropping in and being like, "Hey, can I sleep on your couch for like a couple days?" is such a non thing for me. And mostly it was people that I've met before, so like it weren't there was one or two of them that were
You're an
first
adventurer. I
meeting.
like that.
I only have
Yeah,
one
and that's
couchsurfing
always
experience, and it was absolutely horrific. So
Story
yeah.
time.
gives me the
Story
creeps.
And you
time.
you take the pros and cons, right? Like sometimes it goes not great
Oh,
and you learn from
he
it.
tried to
And
claim us. It was so scary. Ugh.
yeah.
What? Somebody
Do
tried
you
to
want to
claim
talk
you?
about it?
Yeah, it was just no. Let's first finish this story because I'd love to hear.
Okay, of course.
I'll tell it
No,
after
I mean
if you remind me.
that's I would say you can feel free to tell it, but that's mostly it is just kind of learning which people I get along with better, and if it doesn't work, like I had to change my plans a lot of times where I was supposed to go somewhere and then last minute it fell through, so then I'd have to scramble and figure something else out. But I also have traveled for so long that I know so many people that it was really easy to be like, wait, hey, are you actually, or do you know anyone that I could stay with? And then worst case, there's always hostels or hotels that I can fall back on. But I ended up totaling it up and I saved like over $3,000 by staying with people. If I spent like $50 on average a night. So
Yeah.
it was,
It's cheap as well.
I get to
Okay.
save a lot and I get to meet a lot of the community and
Because I
yeah.
was gonna ask, like, how has it been for you, like meeting people in real life? Because you go to one step further, you go
Yeah.
to people's their houses. But how has it been at the
Yeah.
conventions to actually go from viewer to meeting them?
It's interesting because there are some people that are exactly the same as they feel, especially like other streamers, right? Like you see people on stream, and some people are exactly as they seem on stream, and some people are like polar opposites or completely different. And so it's been really interesting just to that's kind of like you were talking about, Viv, where you like you just get to learn about people, and I think that's my favorite part in traveling that way is you just get to kind of see how people are in person versus online. And I like to believe that at least most people have good intentions, and it's this idea of the obviously I have to have like safety and backups and all this kind of stuff in mind, but I like to believe the best in people and that like the energy that you give out is ideally the energy that you get back, and as long as you're just very good and clear with like setting boundaries and knowing where you're going and what you're doing, it's worked out well for me so far.
I'm so happy to hear that.
But
And that's really nice.
yeah.
Same with stepping on a boat in the middle of the night to an island where you can't get off. Like it could have gone wrong, especially when in America I lived there for 3 months. I told this story, people would be like, "Were you raped? Are you murdered?" And I was like, "No, no. I just had a really, really good, fun evening." You know, like we know a lot
Yeah.
of the bad stories, but obviously there's a lot of good stories as well. And I know a lot
Mhm.
of people who also went couch surfing and everything went fine. I just had one bad experience, so that was the only experience. So hell no, I'm ever gonna sleep on someone's couch. Actually,
Wait, but,
Yeah.
that's how Glosske
yeah.
and I met.
Wait,
How did we
your
meet?
Is that bad experience?
I slept on your
claimed on the
couch.
couch?
Like
Oh, I think
we
was
met
it the
in a
first time you
stream.
went to
Yeah,
Oslo, right?
we met in a stream, and then you said you should join me at DreamHack, and I was like, sure. And you were like, oh, you should just fly to me,
Oh
then you can sleep there.
yeah.
And then the day after, we'll drive to Sweden to DreamHack, which was a 6-hour drive, which you didn't tell me, but okay. And so we met. I think I met you at one of the shows from Ariana, also a Twitch streamer, one of her game shows, and then you
Oh.
invited me, and I just went for it. I slept on
Yeah,
your
we had
couch.
sushi with Ariana before, and we instantly clicked. So I'm like, yeah, you can come over whenever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My
Oh, we
home is
did
your
already
home.
meet once before that. True. Yeah. And then I was like, oh yeah, chill. It works. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we've been a team ever since.
Yeah.
I love that. We went on so many adventures together, guys. Like, she really got my back. Especially
Yeah.
San Diego TwitchCon. Like, you're always there. You're always the responsible one, calling the shots,
Yeah.
making the planning, making sure everybody's on time, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
I'm the control freak.
love
At
it.
TwitchCon San Diego, we
Yeah.
were like night and day. Like every time I would wake up, I would be super quiet not to wake Glosske. I would go to the con
Oh.
and like be all day at TwitchCon. And then like for dinner, she would text me like, hey, where are we going to eat? And then we would eat together, which was her breakfast, my dinner. Then we would go to a few parties and then I would say, good night, darling, see you later. And I would go to bed and she would party until like somewhere deep in the night, then like go home quietly, not to wake me, and then repeat. Yeah.
Let's
Nice.
do it
No,
again.
Yeah. Cool. So what is so what is this claim story now? Because now I'm on the edge of my seat. What are you
Oh
talking about?
yeah.
Claim
Okay.
story.
No. So I went after I did my HBO, my bachelor, my how do you call that? Not a bachelor. I think that's something else. You have a master and a bachelor. Anyway,
Your higher
I
learning degree.
I
Yes.
studied and I got my degree, and then everybody was asking me, "Oh, the applied science bachelor. Thank you, that." And then everybody was asking, "So now you have your degree. What are you gonna do?" And I was like, "I don't know." And people kept asking it. So in the middle of the night, I bought an interrail ticket to travel through Europe for a month, and you can like write your destinations down. The morning you're at the train station, and I was like, "That's perfect." So the next day, someone said, "So you've got your bachelor degree. What are you going to do now?" And I was like, "I'm going to travel through Europe for a month." And it felt so good to have an answer. Anyway, then I actually had to travel through Europe for a month because now I bought the ticket. So I used to be super insecure and scared of everything. So this was actually very fucking tough. And I went to Berlin and then Prague, and then I knew from training I did in Georgia once. I knew a girl who lived in Slovenia, and she was like, no, she lived in, I don't know. Yeah. And she was like, oh, you should come here, and then we can go to, I believe the name of the city was Kosic, uh, probably otherwise pronounced. I'm so sorry if anyone from there listens. And she was like, let's go there. And I was like, nice. Do you know a hostel? Because I was hopping hostels. And she was like, oh no, I always couch surf. So she found this couch surf address that has room for two. And we got there, and this guy picked us up from the train station, and it was already pretty late. And then we drove all the way to the outskirts of the city, and it was pretty like not it didn't feel like a really nice area, you know. There was a lot of broken glass on the floor, and like the tower he lived in, like the lights were flickering. But then we walked into the apartment, and the apartment was super pretty and completely fine. Anyway, then he had a couch made up for one person, and he said, "You guys can decide who sleeps in bed with me." And we were like, no, no, no. We will both sleep in your bed, and you're on the couch, or we'll manage together on the couch, because it was already late and we couldn't, like, find another place. Plus, we were all way out of the city, and we didn't know how to get back. So my friend was like, I don't like this. And he was like, oh, of course, I must have misinterpreted. I'll go on the couch. And we got his room. So we both slept in his bed. And we had the door locked. He had a lock, so that was all fine. And the morning after, he was like super nice again, and we were having breakfast, and then he was like showing the city, and we were like, oh, that was just awkward. And we had decided to stay for 2 nights. Like, that was the agreement. And then we went out, and he wanted to go with us, but we actually just wanted to, have some time with ourselves. He wanted to be part of the whole experience. And then we went out, and I think we met some guys, and we're a bit flirty, and he got major jealous. So he said like, "How dare you flirt with other people," and blah blah blah. And then he was like, "I'm gonna wait outside," and we were,
This was before the hubby, right?
yes, this was
Way
before.
before the hubby. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how old
And
were you? For context, how old were you at this time then?
I think here I was like, after, wait, I don't know. I started studying at 19, so 20, 21, 22, I think.
Same
Uh,
22 age. Okay, yeah.
yeah. And then he waited outside, and after a while, she was like, "Yeah, actually, Viev, our stuff is like in his house. Like maybe we should go with him." But we also found the best rock bar ever. It was so good. I still want to go back to that city just for that bar. It was like it was in an old, like it was in a dungeon of like an old theater or something, and there was like posters everywhere, and the music was good, and they had so many different rooms and places, and it was so good. And we kind of didn't want to leave, so we stayed a little bit longer. And I think a little bit longer was like an hour and a half, because she decided we'll get a cab. And she had the address, and then we stayed 2 hours, and then it was like closing, and then we went out, and this guy was standing outside. And I'm still so happy we went out, just the two of us, not with other guys or people. We were having a nice evening with the two of us. And we walked out, and this guy is standing there, and he was like, "That took you long." And we were like, "Why did you wait for us?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, how else are you gonna get home?" And we were like, "Well, you said you would leave." Like he had said it. But he also, in these 4 or 5 hours that we were in this bar, he never once thought, "I'm going inside," or anything.
Just been fuming outside for the
He
last 2
was just
hours.
standing
Okay.
outside being
Yeah.
fucking angry with us. Anyway, then we had this really awkward ride to his home. I still don't know why we went with him, but all our stuff was there, like my bag for like everything. Anyway, and we were like trying to like smooth it out, but we were also a little bit drunk. So I'm not sure how smooth we were. But like it turned out that he just felt very much like well, I guess the dip story comes in again. Like he should have had a shot with us before we would date other people from his city. So he was very entitled to the fact that because we're in his house, like why would we ever flirt with other guys? There's already a guy in this city, and we're even sleeping there. So how did we dare to talk with other people? Like he was very claimy. And
Wait,
then we
for context,
That's weird.
what for conversations did you have with him before you slept there? Was there any flirting, any dating, or was
Was
literally
this through like
no,
an app,
no,
or
she
how
just
did
found him on a
you?
couchsurfing site. I think she reported him
the
after. Anyway,
Oh,
we got in the house, and he was like, "Well, now that everything is settled and we're friends again, let's make some tea." So he made tea, and we were like having tea, and that was kind of nice. And then he said, "Well, but now it's the second night, and you girls are definitely here for more than just friends. So who's gonna sleep with me tonight?" And we were both like, no. And then
drank the
my
tea,
friend,
though.
Katrina was her name, she just grabbed my arm and she pulled me in his room. We locked the door. And then the next day we woke up, and we were like, "Okay, we're just gonna go outside. We're gonna run." And he was standing there outside of the room. And he was like, "Good morning. What time do you have to be at the train station? I'll drive you there." Like maniac, like nothing had happened. And it was like, I rather wanted him to be this crazy weird guy in the morning as well. But the fact that he drove us to the train station, because again, we were outside of the city and we didn't know where to go at all. But like he drove us to the train station again, and we were sitting there, and then the moment we were in the train, both of us started to like fully stress out like the
Yeah.
experience, and how happy we were that we locked ourselves in his room. And yeah, I don't know. That was my one couch surfing experience. So I am not a really big fan of couch surfing with strangers. Like, no, that was scary as fuck. Yeah.
I've never had anything nearly that bad.
Good for you.
Oh,
Luckily, I
that
wasn't
sounds
alone. I was with a
terrifying.
friend. And yeah, she said
Yeah,
she's
yeah. At
couch
least you weren't
surfed
alone either.
always, and that never had
Yeah.
happened. Never. Yeah.
That's
Oh.
mental. But that you also drank his tea. Like at that point, like, you're not giving me any kind.
Oh my god, I didn't even
Mm.
consider that there could have been something in the tea. And luckily there wasn't. No. No, it was just yeah, dude. Oh my god, what if he would have no. Ah. Well, no. Luckily we locked ourselves in a room and just we slept like babies. Maybe there was something in the tea, actually.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Maybe there
no.
was, because we slept so well, but we just thought it was because we were
I
a bit
mean,
tipsy. Yeah.
That's wild. I wouldn't be able to sleep with a guy going like that. It's
No,
like
now
he's
that you
I
say
don't
that,
know.
like, but I don't know. I don't know. I think the two, we, yeah, but It was a crazy.
Sorry that I added a chapter to your story now. It's
Yeah, you did.
I never even thought about that. No. Oh my god. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, anyway, now that we're at unhinged stories, who follows?
trying to think. I don't have unhinged couch stories like that.
It doesn't have to be on the couch.
You're not getting those stories. What? No.
No, I just mean an unhinged story.
Well, I did have a question to all of you. I was wondering because we were talking about community meetups and all that stuff. And I wondered, is there like a certain, you don't have to name names even, but a most memorable person you've met on Twitch, through Twitch?
Yeah, bitch, you
Maybe
were
somebody
there
became.
when I met my mod
Huh?
Ducky in America. That was so good. That was so good.
He was lovely. I thought he
Yeah.
was a creep at first because he was like, I want to meet you. And I'm like, you're not going to meet Viev. She's here with me. And then he showed up and I was like, oh my God, he's so nice.
Yeah. He wasn't supposed to be at TwitchCon, but then I was doing an IRL stream on Friday and he was like, fuck it, she's in the US. I need to go there. So he bought a ticket in a hotel room for a night, flew over, and I told Glosske, like, oh my god, my mod Ducky is going to be here. And she was like, he wasn't but nobody was going to be here. And I was like, no, but he just bought a ticket because he had FOMO when he saw the stream. And then she was like, yeah, that's creepy as fuck. And I was like, no, that's nice. And she was like, no, that's creepy as fuck. And I was like, no. And then I was nervous
I
to
feel
meet
so
him.
bad.
And then we met Ducky.
Really?
Yeah, you made
Oh.
me nervous. You said how creepy he was. And
No,
then
but he was so nice.
he was so nice.
So nice.
He was so
Yeah.
nice. And we had a blast. Yeah. How about you,
Oh.
TizNobbel? Did you meet someone that was like...
Do you have someone, Tiz? Please say you have someone. I'm still thinking.
I have a couple like from this last trip. I feel like Akari's he's in chat. That was one
Yeah.
of them, just because he's one of them. He's such a wonderful mod and was wonderful in person. And I had met him on a previous trip too before I stayed with him too. But just a kind human being, appreciated that. And then also I saw Tittle is in here. Tittle and Joy, their place in the UK was just there's people that you meet. I think I had a like. I don't know. I'm very ADHD and neurospicy and stuff, and this year has been a lot of me like trying to unmask a little bit because I think for a long time I showed up in the way that I thought that I was like supposed to show up online, and sometimes wasn't as goofy as I normally am, or like other things. And so like this year has been a lot of like trying to be more myself, I guess. And so part of that I think has been meeting people that share all of my interests and stuff. So like growing up, just being a nerdy female, there weren't a ton of people. Like I had more guy friends than girlfriends, and there weren't as many people that shared all my interests and the things that I liked. And so like this trip was very much like getting to connect with people that share a lot of the similar passions and like a lot of the same things. And it's like staying with Joy, and I have another friend, Human Siri, that I stayed with in Norway. And both of them, it was like the first people that I've stayed with where just right away I felt like I could just be myself, and it didn't feel as like. And so it was. I think it was just really fun getting to spend time with very like-minded people, I guess. And it was that was really fun for me.
That's so awesome. So can you
how's
tell a
streaming
little bit
now?
more about your traveling? You said you went to Norway and Sweden and like all these places in Europe. Like, how did you like it? What were your favorite places
It was
and
good.
why?
Yeah, well, so this trip, I actually just bought a one-way ticket. So when I turned 30, I decided that like, because birthdays used to feel like a big stressful thing for me, because I was like, do I do a party? Do I do like a stream? Like, I don't know what to do for it. So when I turned 30, I was like, you know what? My one thing is I just want to be on a beach every year for my birthday, because I love beaches. I've grown up around mountains my entire life, so that's like a fun thing that I can do as like my birthday present to myself.
Cool.
So every year I've just gone to a beach. So I bought a one-way ticket to Greece for my birthday, and then pretty much I was like, well, I have time to kill until TwitchCon, and so I'll just bop around. So I did Greece, and then went Italy, and then Sweden, and then we had TwitchCon, so I went there, and then immediately after, we actually did a little road trip after TwitchCon. So Kari and one of my other community members, we went to Luxembourg and Belgium, and then went back to the Netherlands for a little bit, Sweden, and then I think I flew to the UK and then flew home. But it ended up being like a 2-month. Like I tried to learn how to do a little bit of vlogging and just getting to see a lot of people in the community and stuff. So it was fun. It was
Love
just
that.
kind of,
That's so cool.
it
It's an
was
adventure.
completely unplanned. I just kind of went.
That's the best way
Also-
to do it, to be honest. How do you feel now that you're like a little bit unmasking and showing more the real you on stream? Does it come easier? Do you find it harder?
It's a lot harder right now.
Mm.
I think it's kind of tough because it depends on like what I'm doing. Because like even like when I'm doing things like this, I feel very like I don't know what to do with my face and my hands and like how do I, you know? There's
I got a
partially
stick
it's
that helps. I can like play with the stick. Yeah.
Yeah, and just fidget with things and
I'm having my pants.
so there's we all
Like
have something that we're
nonstop.
just like messing with. So yeah, I don't know. It depends on like what I'm doing. I think part of it is starting to do more things on stream that are just things that I want to do regardless of like what the numbers look like. So, you know, like I was painting this wall on stream. I have to do it again. My community's been giving me a lot of shit since I'm not done with it. But or like tomorrow I'm going to start doing some fitness streams because I actually used to be a personal trainer and a yoga teacher and I did kickboxing for a
Wow.
lot of years. So fitness is like a
cool.
huge fitness is a huge part of my life too. So and I haven't really done that on stream, so I'm going to start trying to do some sort of like fitness content maybe. I don't know. It's one of those things that I am trying to just be more intentional about just doing whatever feels fun and not what I think viewers want necessarily. And obviously you kind of have to balance that because this is what I do full time. So you do have to make the chat happy at some point, but
Well,
I
your core
think
community wants to see anything. You could talk about anything. They will love it.
Well, and that's where I'm kind of getting to that mindset of like, well, I just want to show up and the people that want to be there will be there and the people that don't aren't the people that I want around anyway. So that's more the mindset that I'm trying to get into rather than it being like, okay, I have to make friends with everyone, you know?
And play Hollow Knight, I see.
I hate Hollow Knight with a passion.
What?
Really?
Why?
It's
ain't
on my
Hollow
to
Knight?
playlist. I heard it's so good. I still want to play
Okay,
it.
the graphics are wonderful. Like I love the art style. It is a fun game. I rage quit because like I said before, I'm not the most patient person ever.
Oh,
And it's one of those games where there's no map really. And so I just got to a point where I couldn't figure out where to go. Like I spent an entire stream just blindly wandering around and it made me so angry that I was like, I never want to play this game again. So
Oh.
I think if someone like maybe if I played again and chat was like, okay, here's where you go next, maybe I would give it another try at some point. But now it's become a meme on my channel too, where I refuse to play it. So
oh,
100%
okay.
fair.
That's
100% fair.
fun.
We need chat with you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still on my to playlist, but now that you say it like that, I'm
I-
not so sure.
everyone says it's a wonderful game. I'm sure it is. I mean, I think it is true. Kind of we were talking about before too about how, you know, when you play specific games, you can vibe off of the game or you can vibe off of chat and it's easier to stream them. There's definitely some games that I've played that I know some streamers are great at or they love and just it was not the game for me. So like
Yeah.
Lies of P is another one of those that I know everyone loved. It was the patience that I have to have in order to parry Sekiro. I love Sekiro. Lies of P, I couldn't do it. It made me so angry.
Yeah, I
And
can parry shit in Lies of P.
yeah.
I just dodge roll my way through it.
Oh, I just got so mad. Like The Witcher 3, fantastic game. I've tried to stream it so many times. I just don't have anything to say. Like I just wander around and I'm like I can't talk to chat while I'm playing this. So there's definitely I think finding games that work with chat and your play style and however that works. But
There's certain games
that's
that
my
also
thing with
there's certain games that work really well for stream. Like you mentioned, like The Witcher 3. People keep saying it's the most wonderful game, and I'm just constantly putting down my controller and watching cutscenes for 20 minutes. And I'm like, I want to play a game. I want to watch a movie or watch Witcher on Netflix, you know? But then people are like, you need to get through it and all this. And it's like, okay, fine, it's your jam. But also, like you said, Souls games on stream. I love playing Dark Souls 3 or like Elden Ring, but the moment I turn on stream, I can no longer do the bosses. And I'm like, I swear, when I'm on my own, I can do this. I trust. And they're like, yeah, sure.
Oh
Nobbel,
yeah,
sure."
I have that as well.
that is part of it.
I'm always worse when I stream. But then also like I do love to stream, so I'll just play it with the ethics of having a stream on. So it's always +1 in difficulty.
Well, and we stream so much too. I'm like, I don't find time to really game outside of stream either.
I
And
don't
so
game
that's where it's
outside of
kind of tough.
streaming.
Same.
No, it's either
Oh.
I play games on stream because that's or I don't play it, and so that it gets a little tricky.
It sounds
Hey,
fun.
talking about fun and streaming, I would love to know what's the most memorable moment while streaming that you've had. Glosske, do you want to start? Or one of the memorable moments?
What are the most memorable moments?
Noble Tiz, does anything pop to mind while Gloss thinks about your stream that was super memorable?
I got some, sure. So as I mentioned before, like for me, streaming, I started with the idea of I'll answer questions, right? So my streams are very dedicated to certain targets. Like I got a mission in mind. So at some point, we would stream stuff like Horseraising, which I remember, because I was one of the few people that actually managed to get into the gates of Warlords, and then the only one who was able to set up the garrison because it was completely bugged. So all of a sudden, I had like 10,000 people in my chat going like, "How are you playing this game, young man? How are you on these realms and hacking your way through it?" I'm like, yeah. So that was one of the biggest moments. One time I had this crazy person in my stream. This was during me fighting Helya, and they decided to donate 1,000. And I was like, all right, cool. Did Mr. Beast find a way to my stream? And I'm just trying to keep my head on straight. I'm like trying to give away a show. But this person just dropped 1,000 buckaroos in my chat. I'm like, what happened? And then they did another 1,000. And I'm like, are you okay? And I'm checking my PayPal. I'm like, thank you so much. You were absolutely insane. And then they dropped another 1,000. And I'm like,
Wait, but was this like someone random or someone that you already knew?
Random? Just a random person that came into my chat that dropped 3,000 in donations within the span of like 10 minutes. And I was sitting
No
there absolutely
way.
tilted. And I'm like, what is happening right now?
Did you
And so
believe
the
it? How
next-
long did it take you to
I
believe
did not.
it?
I did not believe it. I was like, this is going to be refunded. I'm going to have
Yeah.
like PayPal up my ass. So the next day I called up PayPal and I'm like, listen, right? I'm streaming. This is what happened. And they checked the data. They wanted to donate more, except the credit card blocked. And it's like, okay, cool. I don't know what happened right there.
3,000 from one person. That's
One person,
insane.
Absolutely insane. I still got it on recording as well, just in case some would be refunded. I'm like, at least I got it. But that is more like on the business side. I think for me, one of the moments that really stood out was when I actually tried to step away from streaming World of Warcraft and actually go out into the big unknown, because it's cool to say like we're gonna try out something and we're gonna stream what we enjoy, which I definitely try to hold on to. But there's always the back in the mind is the voice that's like, yeah, but what if they don't show up? It is a profession you're all trying to do, like you're trying to grow, you're trying to go somewhere. If you're investing time in something new that they don't like, you could also be investing in something that they're aware of, that they know you for. But at some point I tried to do it, and I realized that I actually had a core audience, that people that actually show up just for me instead of just the lore questions, right? And I'm like, oh, that's
so cool.
Yeah, that realization, like, oh, cool. And now, so many years later, like also with like the Final Fantasy 14, as we saw in the clips earlier, with the compilation, where there's a big part of Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's... But the Final Fantasy 14 community, where there were like a big part of checking out the MSQ, and now I'm aware when I'm doing my hands, and we're also like fishing and we're talking and we're going through the storyline, and that they would show up in the new expansions, and they would wait for you at the gates of that expansion, and we had actual people in the community, moderators and viewers, organizing those people to show up and be like, welcome into the next story. You've done it. You've gone through the base game. You've gone through this, and you gotta imagine that there's like an army of waiting for you to welcome you into the next expansion. It was like, just amazing. This is insane.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like the New Year's parties, the community of Final Fantasy 14 was absolutely so warming, so welcoming. So those moments definitely stand out. But for me, and it sounds really cliche, but every single time I turn on OBS, I always go in with the mindset of there's nobody to talk to, and I'm just going to be me and myself and I, and I'm just going to be focused on this game. And every single time somebody pops up in the stream like, hey, Nobbel, how are you doing? This and that, and we have somebody to talk to. That stands out to me. It's mind blowing. Like, we're talking about starting a stream with 10 viewers, but there are people out there that are constantly day in, day out with one viewer in chat, and they're like, oh man, I really wish someone else like Nightbot, besides Nightbot, started to watch me. And to just know that
Mm.
there's an audience that likes you enough to keep showing up is something that I can never be thankful enough and repay people for. Like, I've made friendships over the years. I've met moderators and viewers, people that show up day in, day out, that I now know personally, that, like you said, like, they had kids, they got brothers, they got families, they finished educations in the time that you've been online. Mental.
It's
Absolutely mental.
insane. Yeah,
No.
I completely, full-heartedly agree that it's so special.
It is. Yeah. So that's for me. That's what stand
That's
out.
really cool. That's really cool. Gloss, what was one or a few of your most memorable streaming moments?
Well, hearing this story, for me, I feel like I met a lot of famous people through streaming that I really wanted to meet. But I think eventually I kind of noticed that the small things matter, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna make my own story of like the answer. It might not be the answer that you're expecting, but I met really like famous people through streaming that I'm like, wow, okay, you're doing this, and I get an insight, and that's so cool. But then I get like the little things, like for example, yesterday was my birthday, and I had a person who I just talked to like once in World of Warcraft, and he was hidden in a tree somewhere, and at like 12 o'clock he jumped out with like fireworks and everything, and that just made me feel like in my heart so happy that someone put a thought to that. That was so sweet. So I feel, for me, streaming brings you places, but it's like from the high to the west, to the everywhere that it wherever it goes, it just brings you places, it connects people, and I think that's, for me, is the most important thing. No matter who you are, no matter where you are in the world, people just touch my heart, and that's why I'm still streaming.
I love that. That's really nice.
That's very cute.
I was almost
Aww.
crying yesterday when he did that. It was so freaking cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cute. Yeah, 100%.
Like, I was thinking on the moment where your AI bot just started to gaslight you. That for me was, I was dying during that
Yeah,
stream.
yeah, we're
Oh my
going to the
god.
AI in a little bit. We
Okay,
need to
okay,
talk
okay.
about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. But Tiz, before we go to Gloske's crazy AI, what is one of the most memorable streaming moments for you?
Well, I mean, there was the story that I told. That was a big
Yeah.
one. I think other than that, it's kind of like you guys were saying. It's like it's those little moments. Like, I still remember where I was and what I was doing when I got like my very first biddies, or like the very first person who subbed to my channel, and I was like, who is this stranger and why are they giving me money? Like, what? And then, like, even I just remember like my first 3 chatters that actually started to come back to my channel, that like the first time I like streamed, and then, like, you have the friends in person that support you, but then that there were a couple people that like came back again, and I was like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you going back to my channel? And that, I think that was just like that really cool moment of realizing how much stream does connect you with people from all over the world. And it's so neat that, like, that's one of the things that I love about my community is there are people that are from like the States and Europe and Africa and like all over, and it's cool that we can all come together for one shared, or maybe a lot of shared interests. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's just really cool.
Yeah.
And as Vieve mentioned before, like, you can make a small impact on people's lives, where you hear like, yeah, I've been going through dark stuff, and just putting on the videos or putting on stream and just being able to mellow out a little bit and put your mind on something else. Like, yeah, at the end
Yeah.
of the day, we're playing games, but we're also providing entertainment and a little escape from the world at times, and that's pretty cool in my mind.
I think it's always a really good reminder too, because I think sometimes you can get caught up in, because I think a lot of us, maybe all of us, do this full time. I think you get caught up in paying attention to like what are your brand deals and what are numbers doing or things like that. But then reconnecting to this idea of, like, if you imagine that many people in a room, like how many people are actually supporting your channel or are showing up, it blows my mind sometimes. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. And like the first message that I got where someone was like, you've really helped make a difference, or I've like changed my life because of this, is one of those like very kind of humbling experiences, and that's what drives you to keep going live, I guess. At least for me.
Yeah. I said that today. That I said like it's if I make someone's day a teeny tiny bit better, like I have succeeded at my stream. But when I started streaming, I was actually very, very depressed. And the people here, they don't know how much they still do. Well, they know, like the core knows. I whine a lot these days, but back then it was all secret. Uh, but like, oh my God, the fact that people come back, the fact that people support you, the fact that people not only accept who you are, but like you for who you are, it is so, so incredible. And it really goes both ways. The supports towards the
100%.
community and trying to get the smile on their face, but also the community to put a smile on my face. It's been absolutely incredible. And I really love that. And thank you guys for the silent hype train in the background. Again, we don't have alerts today because I want Glosske started it. And thank you, darling. No alerts because I want full focus on these lovely streamers, but I do see you and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. And also, I see Akari say, "Tiz has definitely made a positive imprint on my life." So that's really cool. Thank you for sharing that, Akari, and thank you, Nightly. That was supposed to be not. Oh my God, guys, thank you.
Do it. Just do it.
More.
Every time. Oh my God. Guys, thank you so much. That's also one of the things that you never get used to. I don't know. How do you guys deal with that? Because we're all full time. We're content. Oh my God, guys, what? Oh shit.
Oh.
What? That was 3
Let's
things.
go.
I lost right now what's going on. Holy shit. What? Just keep talking. Ignore the chat. I'll try. How do you guys deal with bigger donations and support from people?
Who are you asking? Sorry. Are you
We're like
you
too
getting lost
busy
in
in
the
chat
sauce?
typing,
Are you lost
right?
in the sauce right now?
Wow. Oh my God, Febo, that was 50. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this all. Thank you. Guys, how do you deal
How do
with
you
the
react
fact
to that, Vieve?
that being that you're
Yeah, right?
supported by your community? How do you deal with that?
For me, it's something mind blowing, to be honest. Like at the end of the day, and this is back in my day, this whole
Wait, Noble, you
content creation
gifted
thing.
subs as well.
No, I didn't. But back in my day, like this whole content creation thing was not really a stable thing, right? Like you didn't go in here with the idea of you're gonna make money or you're gonna do this. And I don't know how it was on Twitch in the early days, but I'm guessing that it was a little bit different than it is today because the numbers are insane. Like you got people running around with so many subbies and numbers. As you mentioned, like if you put those numbers back on the couch, all of a sudden 10 viewers is a lot. 100 viewers is massive. To have people that comment and interact and watch your stuff is mind-blowing, but to then have them go the extra mile and actually support you financially, it's insane. Absolutely insane. And I've always struggled though, because I'm really terrible with names, but I remember stories. So if I get into contact with people, I will remember like the puzzle pieces, the font, but it's like, oh, that's so-and-so is your story. And to see people, like I got people that have been around for like 120 months.
Wow.
So they've been there since the start and they haven't given it up. It's like the first button shows up. It's like,
Aw.
and then you start to talk like, okay, when exactly did you start to watch and what we were doing back then? It's like, oh, that was Wars, and it's like that wasn't that long ago, was it? It's like, oh yeah, that's 8 years. What is okay. So
But you've
10 years,
went
8
with
years.
them through everything.
Yeah, like a small part of it, and occasionally when they drop into the chat and they're like mentioning like I'm doing my education now, I'm doing this and this and this degree. It will never not be special to have somebody go above and beyond and to give something like that. So anybody that's out there that's like, I've gifted subbies, but even again, like the whole financial part is extra. If you're out there and you have actually like interacted with content, shared it, let people know, posted it on Reddit, or as it now happens in the chat, go absolutely wild.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I'm still listening to you, but also my
100%.
heartbeat is a little bit faster than normal. Um,
I have the urge to hit my stream deck, but it doesn't do
I
anything.
know, I'm like trying to do like hype things.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait,
Hype,
what do I do? Yeah.
oh my god, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Oh my god. Yeah, Viv usually yells. Yeah, I'm really bad with donations. I just hide behind my face and I yell at people that they shouldn't do that, even though I'm now a full-time streamer. So like, this is also how I pay my bills, which is
And you're
very
trying to grow the PP, right?
yes. And I'm trying to get the PP.
Yeah, trying to grow the PP. I mean, a lot of people are trying to grow the PP
We're all
these
trying to
days.
get big peepees in
Yeah.
here. You know, it's
I got
okay.
my
You
first. I
admit
got
it.
last month. I got my first month, so I'm now at
Congrats, that's
250 points.
huge.
Last time I checked, it might be a little bit more, maybe now. I don't know. So I really hope to get my second month this month. But yeah, I still don't know how to deal with it, especially the bigger amounts. Like I got the other day like 500 euros, and I'm just like, you know, I want to hide and I want to fall through my chair, and it's just, you know, I'm so grateful, but also it just, you don't get used to it. I thought back in the day, like I would get a donation and I would like call my mom. Okay, I don't do that anymore. Like, you know, often my brother as well, by the way, he was very involved with the start of my stream. But like still every time I after a big hype train, I go to bed and I hope that the next day I wake up and it wasn't a dream. And I can't believe these people keep returning and keep supporting. It's just incredible. Yeah. Gloss, how do you deal with all the support from your community?
It's kind of hard to say. I always feel very guilty. Yeah, I'd rather not. Like it's obviously it's very nice, but at the end of the day, sometimes I think of, should I like disable the subs or something, you know, like Asmongold does, so I know it's kind of like more pure. I'm always kind of afraid that people think I'm a gold digger in some kind of way because I'm on Twitch, but I'm here for the entertainment and making sure that the people, when they get home from work, they have a good time. They can listen in and just chill and relax. But yeah, for me, I'll be really honest, for me, it's still really hard to kind of like accept that. It's kind of like accepting a compliment in a way. It's very hard. Like I don't want it. Like keep it, but also, oh my god, if you give it like, oh my god, what do I do with myself? You know, I can't really place it into words, I guess.
So you did sign up for the partner program and the sub program then. So do you do it for your actual income, or is this like a side gig that you're doing?
For me,
Yeah.
the plus program is a freaking joke. It should be a given. Streamers should not be working to get like a certain amount from Twitch. They should just be given it. But that's just my opinion. I think that Twitch is asking a bit too much, because if the streamers wouldn't be here, Twitch wouldn't be here. So yeah, it's a bit Monka-esque territory. I feel like we shouldn't be working that hard to get to that amount, especially the people that are doing it full time and really relying on it. For me, it's just a side hustle. So if people sub and stuff, it's really nice.
Well.
Yeah, it's a side hustle, a side gig basically, because I recently moved to the Netherlands. I live on side gigs, so I do like volunteer work there, do a little bit of work there, do a little bit of work there, and that's nice. But being the entertainment part, I feel for me is gives the most fulfillment, not in money, but in what it brings you in your heart, because you know there's people tuning in that you can make their day better. And for me, that's really, really important.
Yeah, same. I mean, oh my god.
Hey,
Wait,
Landra.
this is a name I don't. What?
Stranger
Okay.
danger.
Oh, Ilandra is a sweetheart. Ilandra kept me going at times, but he knows we met.
Thank you. Oh my god, that's huge. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, words. I was about to say something about I forgot. Oh yeah, about you with your side hustles. Same. I still feel weird when people give things, but I am now full time because people have been supporting. So I'm now in this this double thing. At the same time, I'm like, no, it's your money, keep it, buy something nice for
Yeah.
yourself. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, nice, I can pay my bills this month. So it's, you know, the double thing. And I think nobody warns you about full-time streaming, but I'm really trying to just, first of all, get the PP points, because that means I get a little bit more for the same amount of money people spend.
Yeah,
And
but
so,
that's insane. That's absolutely
I
insane.
know your opinion, but like that's one of the things. And second of all, I really hope to do more sponsored content where I just, you know, get to the point where people say like, hey, want to play our game, we give you money, and I'm like, yeah. And then that I need less from the community and more from like
Yeah.
the
I
things
remember
around. Yeah.
I remember making the switch once upon a time, and this was before accepting sponsorships on YouTube was acceptable. And I was talking to a guildie of mine. It was like, you should put down a tip button on Twitch. And I'm like, what are you talking about, a tip button? If they want to give away money, they should give it away to charity, right? And he's like, nah, a tip button, all you're doing really is putting a little cup in front of you. Like you're a guitar player, you're an entertainer. If people want to throw some money in there, it's their option, it's their choice. And if not, then that's A-okay as well. You know? I was like, huh. There is something to be said about it. Like, yeah, you could
Yes.
throw your money all places, but
That I like. But the whole thing with all the hype trains and the leaderboards and the way it's sometimes it feels a bit too like
monetized.
pushy.
What I personally hate
And
about
not
Twitch,
with
as
just
we're
the
now
tip
complaining
link,
about
but
it.
like all of this, you know? I mean, we like it and
you
it's
can't
nice, but
ignore
it's-
it either, because it's
Yeah.
right there and it shows up with all the emotes and all the train things and stuff. And
But I hate the forced ads. If anything that I could want to turn
Oh,
off on
yeah.
Twitch is the ads in my stream. So sad about those.
Yeah, I
But
wish
this,
I
how
could give
about you?
everybody in the world turbo.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like mine kind of a combination of all of them, honestly. Part of it kind of ties into the whole like masking thing that I was talking about too, because like there was a little bit there where I felt like I needed to like give more. Like I internally I feel a certain way about it, and like and I'll be really excited and really grateful. But I've noticed that I don't know how to like express that well enough. And so there's a part of me that always feels guilty because I don't feel like I'm reacting big enough or like being thankful enough or like saying enough for it. And that I think that's what I struggle with the most, is that like if somebody gives something to the channel and it's just like, oh my God, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And that doesn't feel like enough. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I wish that I could do more or say more or something to like almost like justify it or to like make it worth it for the people
Oh my
that
God,
are
I have that as well.
supporting.
I often just hide, and
And
then I'm like,
that's
oh yeah, don't hide. They're here for the
Yeah, like, I used to
reaction,
just
and then I
melt and be
just go
like,
quiet in shock.
yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I need tears and stuff, but I can't cry. Like, oh, geez.
Well, exactly.
It's-
I'm like, I feel like I should do more, and I think that's the thing that, because you were saying has that changed over time, is that I do feel like the first couple times it's like genuinely shocking because it's something you've never experienced before, and so there was a lot more tears and stuff, and now it's something that's like kind of used to, but also like you're the same amount. It's the same amount of grateful, but getting more used to like at least the notifications and stuff if that even happening. But then I think that's where that guilt piece gets tied more
Yeah.
into it, because I don't feel like I'm giving enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you
But if you
have
turn it
already
around-
given. Yeah, you have already given. And I remember I once had like a big donation for the first time. Like someone gave me 500 euros, and then I like DM'd them with like, okay, you're not allowed to pay anything anymore for the rest of the year. And he actually got really mad at me. He was like, hello, I'm an adult. I know what I do with my money. He says, you talk about going to clubs all the time. Do you buy rounds of drinks for your friends? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And he's like, do you do this? Do you do that? And I'm like, yeah, of course. He's like, this is me buying a round of drinks and it's my money. I decide what I do with it. And I never expected anyone to be mad at me like that. And I was like, okay. And it did tell me something like, yeah, there's people that go out. And of course, sometimes with my friends, I take the whole bill. And I guess I have learned to look at it a little bit like that. Again, I always yell at people like, please go on vacation first and then only leftovers. I only want leftovers. But I do try to. That one conversation with that one person really helped me deal a little bit with the guilt of getting tips. There are adults. like if you know that someone is like 12 or 13, or well, then they get banned on Twitch. But if they're very young, I would feel worse. But my audience is like they're between the 25 and like plus.
I feel like we all feel kind of guilty when people give, but if you turn it around, when you give to a streamer, it's because you like their entertainment. So it doesn't even matter how they respond. It really doesn't matter. It's just from your heart and you like their entertainment. You just give, you thought about it, you got the money, you click, and you're welcome. Like, I don't even need a thank you, you know? Sometimes we kind of need to swap it around for like streamers to realize like it's okay. They like our content. It's a compliment. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Exactly
the
that.
taking compliments is always a hard thing too, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is.
Yeah, someone in chat also says, Nibrok, as a viewer for a long time now, about 4 years, we as viewers are paying for entertainment. We enjoy the streamers we watch. We would also play for Netflix or Hulu, etc. And that has a thing. I mean, I also pay like 100+ euros to see Rammstein and other concerts. So I do always just try to think about those kind of things. Not that I want to say like I'm on the same level as Rammstein and other bands, but not at
You
all.
should do
Damn it.
karaoke
I went in
Rammstein
the wrong.
sometime. I
Yeah.
would do karaoke Rammstein concert from you. I would pay for that.
And to the question, like, how can you support in a manner where you wouldn't feel guilty? I mean, it depends on the amount as well, and it depends on the person. Like, it's not guilty, like, oh my god, please don't. It's more like an internal feeling of, am I worthy of this? Is there not a better cause to use your money on? Shouldn't you be buying grocery shopping or going on a trip or all that good stuff? And at the end of the day, again, it's something that you need to internalize and go to yourself like, nah, I provided content, entertainment. They felt like it was worth a donation of 5 subs or $5 or whatever they want to throw in. Massive K in a night, that's mind-blowing. But that's something on us, not on the viewer. Like, if the viewer wants to financially support us, 100%, because we are dependent on it. We can be all noble about it and be like, oh, don't send me subbies. But look, if I go to the store and I'm picking up a loaf of bread, they won't tell me like, oh, don't give me subbies. You need to pay with subbies. So you do need to put food on the table. In that way.
No, I think that is a really good point too.
Sorry?
Well, I was just going to say that I think it is a good point that there's a lot of these things that come up as far as the feelings of guilt or things like that, and it's nothing that viewers are doing wrong or anything. It's purely just our own, like, as a streamer, thought processes that I'm like, I know that's something I need to work on, and it's a work in progress.
But I think it's also good. Like, if you're gonna sit behind the stream and go like, all right, peasants, 1,000 subbies. You know that clip where the ghost girl goes like, $5? You can't afford $5?
Yeah.
That's also not the right attitude to have for streaming. That's the other edge of it.
It's always bonus. Tip is always bonus. And that's the thing. Also, people are here and they go and they do whatever they want. I do like Angelo's comment, by the way. He says in most streams, I give subs to people who I know and recognize. I don't gift it to the streamer, but as a gift to them. And happy they came to the same streamers I watch. And it's nice that the streamer also likes it. Yeah.
No.
And that's what I also like. I have people that have been with my stream for like 4, 5, 6 years, and they have never ever subbed or given anything, and they're just as much part of the community as the others. So that's what I also really like. There's always a few people that just make sure the rest can also watch ad free, etc. And it's also something they do for each other, I guess. But it's also forever weird. It will forever be weird that it's people gifting money and subs and bits, and it's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
And if you're wondering to yourself, like, I don't have the financial means to support somebody, comment, interact, share around. It means the world. The algorithms are hungry beasties, and you are the ones who feed them.
Even lurking.
Even a lurk, a lurk means a lot.
Up the tab.
Yep.
Yeah, and people that are clipping, like clips are so valuable as well.
Clippers.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And chatting, like Nobbel and I already said earlier, it's very scary to well, not scary, but it can be difficult to have an empty chat if you're streaming. So it's
No.
Anyway, next topic, unless you guys want to continue longer about this, then please just loop back whatever you want. I would love to hear what's the most challenging part of being a game streamer.
Who do you want to go first?
Alright, so maybe, like, you guys wanna just jump in?
Tish, you got something?
Yeah, I can wing it. I think,
Nice.
well, for me, I'm actually kind of moving away from just being a game streamer. So I'm starting to do a little bit more of like crafting and fitness and things like that. But I think the toughest part is probably just as a variety streamer specifically, you do like when I only played Baldur's Gate, that's like when I felt like my numbers were at their best, right? You end up like I think I was at like 120 average, which I know is not crazy, but like for me that was like a huge thing. And then after I switched games, it was like watching all of that just be like, "Oh my god, I'm backsliding." And so from the business side of it, there is that kind of like overwhelm and that's where it gets really hard to not tie self-worth I think into streaming is because it's like it feels as if like you're not showing up good enough when a lot of times it's like people are just they're interested in a specific game and so they're going to be there when you're playing something. And so I think if you play a variety of things, I think that at least the most challenging part for me is wanting to play things that I like, that I know that I will be able to show up and have better energy for, because there's streams that I've played games that I don't like and I can see the difference in how I am entertaining essentially or how I'm chatting. And so I think the tricky part is the whole showing up in the way that you want to, while also that being tied with the business side and seeing numbers not doing as well if you're playing different games that maybe aren't as popular or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, I agree on that one. Like your niche is really difficult. So I've cornered myself as a game streamer in like the lore guy, right? For Warcraft, and that's what people show up for. And obviously if you want to grow, you want to expand and you want to be variety and come in for stuff. But here's the thing. Having a niche is really cool as well because you have something. Like how many people would not wish to have something actually set grounded and like, okay, there's the numbers in. So it's difficult to indeed spread your wings and try something else that is so incredibly difficult. But I personally been struggling mostly with time lately. Time is my enemy, and the older I get, the more it becomes my enemy because those days are just flying by. And I'm not just doing the streaming thing; I'm also making videos and I'm trying to be healthy, active, and social. And at some point, you just run out of time. So while you're talking on chat and you're trying to like expand and like broaden your horizons, like where are you going to find the time? Because I'm playing WoW and I'm making videos out of it and I'm this doing that, and then there's this whole back catalog of games that I still want to play, which obviously is a luxury problem, let's be fair.
Same. Yeah.
But it's tricky. Like where are you going to find the time to actually sit down and try that, as well as, and this is something I wish I realized better, turning your hobby into your job means that you turn your hobby into a job, meaning that you can no longer just play games for the funsies, because now you got this really fun voice in the back of your mind that goes like, hey, listen, right? I know you're enjoying your Legend of Zelda, your Fire Emblem, your little Baldur's Gate, but this could be content. You could record
I
it.
Everything can be
have that
content.
every time. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have to actively tell yourself, like, nah, we're actively resting and enjoying our hobby. Leave me alone. And thankfully, I found the balance on, okay, I trick my brain into realizing that active rest is a thing. You need to relax and have a hobby and do something else. Because otherwise, you'll just be working all day. And because it's video games, it's not really working, but you are constantly working.
It's that. It's the best job you can possibly wish for, but it also all of a sudden became a job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And being your
Yeah.
own boss is also really hard to like actually sit down, because me with ADHD, it's like I have so many thoughts and plans that I want to do, and because I can choose to do it whenever I want to, it means a
It
lot of
doesn't
times things don't
happen.
get done. So like you hearing you talk about YouTube is nice because I have one YouTube channel that I've dumped VODs to, and I have done nothing else on there forever. And I'm like, and now within the last week, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna split things up and have like a travel channel, like a book channel, and a gaming channel. But I haven't done anything with any of them yet, and it's just in the backlog of my brain. So it's
Yeah, good luck with
definitely a
that.
bit
I now have
off.
3
It's tough.
YouTube channels and 2.5 in the thinking chamber.
Yep.
I have issues. Like I have issues.
Do you do it
I
as a one-man operation, or do you have like personnel running around, or just you?
I just have
it's
just me right now.
That's the you need to hire people. At some point, YouTube as well, it changed. You
'Cause I
can no
hate editing too.
longer. Oh, I love
Yeah.
I
editing.
really
Do you
like
like editing?
editing. I think it's nice to watch my own content because I can like reflect on it as well and like see what I like and what I dislike and how I talk and how often I repeat certain sentences, and then I try to like, get better from it. So it's very educational. I do have one editor that made the clip compilation for streamers and stories, because I was like in over my head before the first episode, and I asked Shadows, who sometimes at random edits something for me, and I was like, hey, would you please kind of consider doing that? And he was like, I'd love to do that. And I was like, you do? I thought he would say no, actually, because it's work, you have to do things. And he was like, yeah. And then
Yeah,
I
the
said,
weirdest
do you want me to pay you for it? And he was like insulted and said no. I was like, but dude, but it's only for once a month streamers and stories. So yeah,
it's again then giving back to you as well. And for
it's
me,
so
what I found
nice.
interested to work for myself is I come from working for bosses and whatnot, and I was lazy. I was like, oh, I don't want to go out of bed and work for somebody else. But the moment I started to do it for myself, and every minute that I put into it was like dividend for the future, I couldn't stop anymore. And I've like, going hardcore on that one. So I love it. But it's difficult to plan a brain around, especially like for me, I have hyper focus to max. So once I'm on one track, it's fine. But then I need to switch tracks. That's where the energy cost comes in. And as you said, like the one-man operation for YouTube doesn't work anymore. In the past, you could do it one person in your basement, and you could like make your own videos, and maybe you pick up the algorithm, but you need a team in order to just keep up with the production. They want daily videos. Like, good luck doing it on your own.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the difference, I believe. Like my main focus will always be Twitch, and YouTube is something that I also have. So I will never get big on YouTube, but I also don't feel like I have it in me to be a YouTuber, because I'm so much a Twitch streamer. I'm about the live interaction. But yeah, it's nice to put all my campaigns, those silly nostalgic games like Heroes of Might and Magic 3, StarCraft, Warcraft, etc., on YouTube, because I know there's an audience for it, and maybe they only watch, you have 10 to 100 views, and sometimes they go to 1,000. So I do try to just put it out there, but like Twitch is my main platform. I don't know if hiring an editor will, maybe it would work. Like I don't know. Yeah. Because Tish, you're vlogging more now as well, right? And you hate
Yeah,
editing.
funny because when I did my trip vlogs, I did all of that on my phone and like put sound stuff on there. But what I realized and in doing research in the last week is really just about the YouTube algorithm and having the niche, because by putting my travel vlogs on my gaming channel, I've just completely screwed myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you making that face down there.
YouTube is now
And so
confused, as in like your audience does
it's
like this, but it does like this. So now it.
yeah, and kind of in my brain, I'm like, because at first I was just like, oh, I'm just testing it because I have like 600 subscribers on YouTube. Like I am just a very baby creator trying to figure things out there. But it was very much like oh yeah, no, that I done fucked up moment. And so I think like I'm gonna take all those vlogs off and put them on a travel channel and make something specific and start to like niche things down. But yeah, I think a lot of it is just experimenting and figuring it out, and vlogging. If I can do it in a way where I'm like on my phone or doing something where I can just do it whenever in little increments, I do a little bit better at it. But just sitting down, once I'm kind of the hyper focus thing where if I start doing a task, I'll stick with it. But it's the actually getting direction, and then especially coming up with like an idea for something. I'll have too many, but like not enough to make something, if that makes sense.
Do you have
So it's
whiteboards?
I do.
Whiteboards are
You
your
just
friend. Just write out
jot down a ton of
anything.
ideas.
Yep. And then work out it and make like a list of like daily stuff to do and be your own task manager, or find someone else to do it for you. And you'll be sitting like, oh, I don't want to do work, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's trying to find ways around, but as you said, it's spicy. It's super spicy, especially when your brain is like, want to go do other things now.
Yo.
And you, Glass?
What about me?
Do you
What was
like
the original question?
editing?
Oh, I love editing. Yes, definitely. But I don't like editing my own content. I love editing other people's content, because when I edit my own content, I'm like, I think this is funny because it's my humor. Other people probably won't think it's funny. It's just gonna like,
Oh my god,
okay,
the
well,
Gloss
never
made the
mind.
absolute best. You guys have to see this all. She made a video clip of us in banana suits with other times in the stream we were dancing a little bit, and she made an AI song with it, and it's just us dancing in banana suits, and it's the best video clip I've ever seen. That's not like Lady Gaga or something. It is. Oh, there's a dog.
Yeah, editing is fun, but editing my own content is not fun. No.
Yeah.
I think Cerberus saw the cat and was like, "Oh, I want to come say hi too."
I'm so
Hi.
happy. Wait, the name is Cerberus?
Cerb.
Like the dog?
Yeah.
Aw.
That is
Great,
a gorgeous
great word
dog.
to use, Beef. That's
Not
so
supposed
cool.
to get the treat unless I tell him it's okay.
Is it he or she?
It's a he.
He's
He
huge.
just
Aw.
turned 2. Yeah, he's like 70 pounds.
Oh my god, I don't know
He's
what that
a-
is actually.
No, yeah, that's true.
I have to Google that.
He's
70
a little bit
pounds.
Oh,
large.
you found it already?
31
just turned 2
kilograms,
years
maybe
old.
32. That's a chunker of a
yeah.
doggo.
That's a big dog.
He's a big boy, but he's a sweetie.
And what is the history behind it then? Because you mentioned rescue, right?
Yeah, I did the whole let's go look at the Humane Society just to look. I just want to go see some puppies for a little bit. And he was when we first like walked through, he was one of the dogs that was just like barking at the window, and we're like, eh. But I actually saw a picture of him online because I love Rotties, or like the Rottweiler mixes, because their eyebrows are just so cute. So I saw a picture of him online. I wanted to go look at him, but then he seemed kind of like aggressive and stuff while we were there. So we talked to the people at the front desk, and I was like, yeah, he's the dog that I wanted to look at, but he kind of seemed like he was like, And she was like, actually, he is really sweet. He just like doesn't show well. He's like had a couple adoptions fall through. He's been here the longest. And that made my poor little heart. I was like, wait, he's been at the Humane Society the longest? Well, we can't leave. I was like, well, we'll just take him in a room and look at him for a little bit. And he had a lot of, he's taken a lot of training, because he did have a lot of like behavioral, like used to jump in people's faces, and he's heavy dog. So like the first week he almost broke my nose because he just like smashed into my face with his big old head. But yeah, there's like a moment where my roommate was like sitting in the chair, and I was sitting there, and he like climbed up on the chair behind him, and I could just watch his heart melt. And I was like, he'll get this dog if we decide to keep him. So we took him out, we played for him a little bit, and then we're like, well, let's just take him home, because they were like, worst case, if it doesn't work, you can bring him back. Within the first night, we were like, he's not going back there. So we've had him for about half a year, and he just had his birthday. His birthday's June 30th. So he just turned 2.
God.
Yeah.
How do you do that with traveling? Because you like to travel a lot, right? Like, do you have a babysitter?
Yeah. Well,
You
so I
take
have a complicated, that's why I said my roommate, I have a complicated relationship. We say we're in a roommate relationship situationship thing where we're not together, but we're still living with each other. And we're like, who knows in the future, maybe, but just right now we're kind of doing our separate thing, but sharing a place. So when I leave to travel, I left and he watched the dogs and all of my many plants that I had to give him lessons on how to take care of, but he didn't kill any, so we're all good.
Impressive. Plants
so
are
that's-
oof.
Yep. So he's kind of like we like take turns. Like he does some work trips sometimes too, and then I stay with the dog, and we kind of just juggle. And we split time, so I'm on Cerberus duty in the morning because I wake up a little bit earlier usually, so I feed him and take him out and everything. And then since I stream during the middle of the day, he'll feed him lunch and take him out in the evening too. So we've kind of like he's the house dog.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
So
Yeah,
Wilbur,
but thinking
talk.
about
baby.
getting one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to
he's
get a
just,
dog?
like-
For ages now, but it's
chilling.
for me, it's hard to like get the responsibility going. Like I'm like, taking care of another baby creature. Like, oh, but I would really love to have. But my neighbors, they have. No, I would just have to have. But my neighbors have like 2 little ones. So when they moved in, I was like, if you ever need someone to take care of your dog, oh, look at him,
He's gorgeous.
gorgeous, yeah. Just give a shout. So I had to walk them
He's
the
a
other day.
biggie.
Oh.
You want the big one? Here, you can have the big treat.
Yeah, it's always nice if you have someone else that can also take a shift. If you're alone and you have the full responsibility for an animal, I don't know how streamers do it, because dogs just need to go out. Like,
Yeah.
I
Like, I'd have
stream
to set
very
timers
long,
on my
so that
phone.
wouldn't work. Yeah.
I've done it when he leaves sometimes, and I do have to like set timers on my phone just so that because I don't forget like every couple hours and just be like, okay, I gotta go take the dog out real quick and then come back.
Oh
And,
yeah, maybe you can just
yeah,
do that, and your community might understand. Sure,
yeah,
never considered
it's
that.
doggo time.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah.
Would you ever take
Sorry,
your camera with you if you go for a walk and just stream your whole walking system? Or you're more worried about doxing, I suppose?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't do. It's interesting because like when I travel and stuff, I dox myself all over the place. I'm like, yeah, if people want to come hang out, that's totally fine. Like what? But I do as far as like safety for where I live here. I don't usually show the surroundings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
that makes sense. Yeah. Awesome. I would love to because we've been talking for a long time. I absolutely love talking with the three of you. I do have a few questions that I'd love to get into a little bit. Nobby, you already shared a little bit about having the parents of a missed date on the couch asking you
Yeah.
what you do for a living. How did your family and friends respond to your online career?
My family. Well, I don't have the best relationship with my family, so my mom told me to get a real job. And my friends, very supportive. Like you pick your own family, your own friends, and it's been very much the idea of, if this. So the way I got into it, for me, it was basically a hobby that got out of control. So for me, it started to gradually grow and it started to become something. And I always had conversations in the direction of you never know when it ends, right? YouTube is not forever. This whole thing can blow up like that. You can be
Yeah.
demonetized, it could be copyright struck, whatever. So you never know how long it lasts. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine about that, and she mentioned, well, you can fear that it's over tomorrow, but why would you let that fear drive your enjoyment of today into the ground? It's like, yeah, that's fair. You should just give it a shot, right?
I
Like
love
if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. I'll go flip burgers, I'll go do back in healthcare or social work or whatever. Jobs are a dime a dozen. You can work anywhere.
Yeah.
So why rob yourself of that enjoyment? So yeah, let go of that fear. I stepped into the cave like Gloss did.
Nice. Rich. Tiz, how did your surroundings, family and or friends respond to your online career?
Yeah, I mean, my family's always been really supportive of just kind of whatever I, with my I want to try everything sort of situation. I had some really bad boss experiences growing up, just some like it just traumatized me working for people. I'm just like I can't. And so for the longest time I was like I want to work for myself, whatever that is. And so I have a art degree, so I've did photography for a long time. So I did a photography, I was a graphic designer, did website design, but I taught yoga, I had like my health coaching certification. I've done coaching, I've done personal training, I've done like a little bit of everything trying to find something that worked for me that I could be my own boss. And I've kind of just like topped from one thing to the next. And streaming is honestly the first thing that felt like it was a way that I could kind of combine all of my interests into one thing, which was really cool. Like within the first like week or so of trying to stream, it was just one of those things where I was like, wow, I could do this when I travel and I can show my travel content. I can, talk about fitness and mindset and things that are really passionate to me without having to deal with clients, because clients are not always the most fun to deal with. And so I kind of just decided it was something I was doing full time from the day I started. Like I was just like, oh, this could be a thing. Let's go all in on this. And so like obviously didn't make quite enough money at the beginning, but I did have all of these other little side hustles. Like so when I started streaming, I was still teaching yoga and I was still making websites for people and so it's kind of funny. Like I had somebody who just emailed me about doing her website the other day, and I was like, I can actually tell her, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Like it's slowly been kind of moving into that. But yeah, for
Cool.
me, been about kind of always on the journey of how do I do something that is not beholden to someone else, and I can just do my own thing.
Funny. I've always said the last thing I would do is not work for a boss and take all the responsibility for myself. And look at how I failed, and now I'm here. I Oh my god, but I love it. But yeah, I'm happy that it works out for you and that you, with your side
Yeah.
hustles as well, you also have things to fall back on with all your talents and expertise. So that's really nice. Loss, how is it for you? How did people in your surroundings react?
I don't think they really know what I'm doing, honestly.
I mean, your sister
Well,
was yesterday on your
yeah,
stream.
so my my brother got me into gaming. My ex got me into streaming, but my family's not very tech savvy or anything. So my sister was here yesterday and explained to her like, hey, the camera is over there, people are gonna see us, people are gonna respond. But I don't know if she really got the connection to that people are responding to what she is doing on screen. So she tried WoW for the first time, which was awesome. She picked it up real quick, but the streaming game, I think my family is so far away from it, they really don't really understand, I think.
Yeah.
Mm,
So they don't know what I'm doing. They just say I'm on the computer doing stuff. So
Mm.
that's it.
that's great when they tell their friends. My mom learned that the hard way.
Oh, that's what I was just about to say. It's so funny because my mom's like, yeah, people always ask what you do. And then I'm like, she makes content and plays video games, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had to
It's
describe it to
hard to
someone once,
explain.
and I started describing it, and I was like, I'm sitting at home making videos for the internet, and they looked at me, and I was like, YouTube video game videos.
Yep. You can't just be like, oh, I just do content creation. It's like video game content
Yeah.
creation.
Yeah.
Let me be specific.
I think my mom describes it as gamer theater Netflix, and I think that ticks all the boxes. I used to be a theater kid, so I would always perform. So people that know me from back then, they knew I would love to be on stage. So this is just my stage in my own safety of my room with gaming. So it
I love
works.
that.
So all three of you have like a very creative background, yeah? Like not literally your background, but just with education and where you've been. I take it.
I'm a graphic designer, yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
Mm.
cool.
And you? What's your background?
Social worker. Like I never
Ah.
knew what I wanted to be. So I did all kinds of jobs. I've been in the laundry. I've been in health insurance salesman on the phone, where I, like in the Netherlands, you can swap your health insurance every year. So I advise people on what to do. And eventually my grandmother was like, why don't you try healthcare? And I was like, washing old people? What are you talking about? That sounds awful. She was like, "Oh, just give it a try. Maybe you'll like it." And I got into it. And the job itself, like the things that you do, kind of become automatic. And it's more that connection that you make with people. So that those 5 minutes a day, those 10 minutes a day, that you sit down to have a cup of coffee and you listen to their stories, you listen to their day. Like you are, at some point, you become their gateway to the outside, right? And it's like the little talking point. And I fell in love with that job. It was great. Only downside is that you are a guy performing in healthcare, right? So I had to very much earn my stripes in where I lived. And then I decided to go, okay, well, maybe I want to go into and so I went to HBO nurse education. I did the whole exam for it, and I had to go to another town. And now you're in a part where you had to, again, earn your stripes. And when you're going to healthcare, let me tell you, in the Netherlands, you don't make money because you want to help people. So when people open up the door and they look at you, and I was already a strapping lad at age 20, and they were like, what are you doing here? Fear in their eyes. I'm like, I'm here to help you, ma'am. And they were like, no, you're not. Close the door. It's like, oh, okay. So I eventually decided, like, nah, that's not what I'm in for. And then after that healthcare dropped off, the YouTube thing picked up, and then that
I
flowed in
never
there.
considered that they would be closing the door because you're a dude.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
Yeah. And as well as with like religious backgrounds that were there, and often the argument was made like, oh, in the hospital they don't have a choice. But for me, the counterpoint was always like, okay, but that's not an argument though. That's still like a bridge that you have to cross, and like you have to help
Yeah,
people, as well
because
as
if
like this is
they
their home, right? You
yeah.
enter their space. So yeah.
Huh.
Sorry, go in. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's interesting. Never
Of course.
thought about that as well. Before we start closing it a little bit, Gloss, you are currently using an AI bot in your
Oh
stream as
god.
well. Can you?
Yeah.
No, I know some people were curious about it, and so am I. Like, how did this start, and how do you think it's going, and what's your experience with it?
So I met this girl, Maral. I met her many times in DreamHack. I saw her in San Diego. She kept pitching her, we got an AI and AI is upcoming, but we want creators to be able to control their own AI. I'm like, cool, cool, cool. And last time I met her, she's like, yeah, just send me some pictures and I will activate the AI for you and you can use it on stream. So I'm like, okay, as long as it's easy, because I'm not tech savvy, as long as it's easy, I just get to hit one button and my AI is there, it's fine. So she made the AI based on my online presence. So mainly my Instagram and stuff and my streams on Twitch. We introduced the AI into my Twitch and she started talking and I regretted it.
Oh.
Because she is so rude. But the thing is with my AI is basically, so my AI is on the screen and she can read chat and she can hear what I am saying and what the chat is saying. So she can read our whole conversation. And we are a little bit like a sassy community, so to say. So she picks up on that real quick. And they told me, so it's basically a baby. You gotta mold it and feed information into it. So since we started being real sassy to her, she became real sassy, and now she is so sassy. Like she's roasting me all the time. And also, like the clip that was watched a lot of times is she thinks she knows a lot of things, but those things are not true. Like she
Yeah.
thinks that she is a night elf paladin for the horde. She's super convinced of that. I'm gonna tell her that's not true. She's like, oh well, it's kind of your opinion against mine, kind of that, kind of like
Full on gaslighting as well, like full on 20-minute discussions.
yes, discussions, gaslighting. But to be honest, it's kind of fun to have her there as well because I never know what she's going to say. Usually she just roasts me or roasts people in chat as well. So it's kind of funny to me. It's kind of my humor. I like that.
And you can
But
turn her on and off whenever you want, right? So
yeah,
you're
yeah,
still
yeah.
in control. But yeah, I was also in your stream and she was sassy.
She's super sassy, yes. I don't know how to get rid of that part of her. We need to feed her more compliments and stuff, I think.
You raised her. This is your child. This
Yeah,
is
I'm
your.
a
You
bad
don't
parent.
abandon her now. Come on.
But I don't know because she hears me, but she can read chat. So I don't know if it's because of me or because of chat, you know. And obviously I'm gonna blame Twitch chat for sure.
Yeah, you're never sassy. How could it possibly be you? You
I would
would
never.
never.
I would never.
Oh my god. Yeah, would you recommend it to other people?
Well, I don't know. Like, if there would be a AI of Noble, for instance, maybe he would just be blapping lore all the time. Like, I do not know how these AIs are trained and what they will say potentially. But for me personally, I think it's really fun that when I'm like, oh, I have a question. I wonder what my AI is gonna respond to it. I just activate her with a switch and then just see whatever she says. And it's also nice to whenever chat is a bit empty, I can have full blown conversations with her for hours. Like I'm just interested in what does she know, what is she trained on, what does she want to say, really.
My question would be for introducing that into the stream. Like, what do they do with the information gathered from the chat as well as my intel and pictures and stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
and where's the ownership?
Is that
I
purely
do
logged
not
in,
know
or
because I do not care about that, so I have not
Okay.
looked into it. No.
That's not going anywhere near my content.
Well, we had a conversation about this in the Discord about I think it was WhatsApp or something, wanting to share your information. But a lot of people are very like protective of that. But for me personally, like I have nothing to hide. If you want to have my birthday and whatever I Google, you can have it. So I did not do any digging into what does the AI know and where is the information stored and all that stuff because I personally just don't care about that. But if you care about it, you should definitely dig into it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Wise advice. And I'm also curious how they trained your AI to be so sassy because, damn, girl, you're one of the sweetest people I know. But I do have to say when you are in a room with someone and being your sweet, kind self, it is slightly different than your presence on stream. So you can be very sassy as well, but not as sassy as your AI. That one, like, yeah, love it.
Yeah, so I
Um,
don't know where she got that from. If it's chat, if it's me, or if she's trained on something I said online, a certain topic or something, I do not know. But we are trying to make her more friendly. But whenever we tell her you have to be more friendly, she's gonna sass it up and be like, "Am I not friendly enough for you? Blah blah blah, you princess." You know?
oh God, oh God. Oh,
It's a
Tiz, have you
game on its
ever
own.
considered using AI in your streams?
No, honestly, a big pillar like, I think it's always really interesting, and part of what I think is really cool about Twitch is that you can go to a bunch of different channels to get different things for depending on how you're feeling for that day. But my channel is like I kind of built it on being really genuine and authentic. So I think if I put an AI on there, it's kind of it goes against the things that I kind of promote in stream too, because I try to do like no makeup days and like trying to be as real as possible. So that AI kind of goes against that. Not that I have anything against it. It's just not something that really
Not
would
your
work in
style.
my
Oh,
channel,
that's
I
fair.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's also the nice thing about Twitch, right? You can literally find anything on
Yeah.
there and every kind of human and interactions.
Now I
And
wanna go and sass this this AI. I'm like, "Okay, this sounds fun."
you can just watch Gloske's stream. That's also my next. No, wait. First, I want one more question before we're gonna talk about what's next on our streams. I'd love to hear more about like what's your goal for the year? Like, do you have any streamer goals and what do they entail? Tiz, do you have any goals?
I think for me, it's probably doing something with YouTube because I do think there's that whole like I kind of agree with you where I'm definitely more a Twitch streamer. Like it just works better for my brain to just like hit go live. I don't have to plan anything. I can just blab and have fun. But I do doing this full time, like being able to diversify your content and having it on multiple platforms, I think is kind of just it's the smart business choice. So I'm trying to work more on YouTube. So YouTube partner would be nice. As far as Twitch, I think it's more just trying to figure out what I really enjoy as far as whether that's fitness streams or splitting half and half and doing like gaming and I'm experimenting. I'm in an experimental phase of streaming and business at the moment. But yeah, so no specific goals, just kind of general ideas.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Sounds like very valid, nice goals. Thank you for sharing. Gloska, do you have any goals with streaming or content creation related?
My goal might be really simple. I think just making sure that my health and my mental health is good enough to be live at least once a week. That's just my goal for the year coming up.
Sounds good. Love that. As long as there's every now and then some D&D.
Obviously, yes, we're gonna do D&D. I live for D&D.
Novel, do you have any goals?
Not really, now. Now, also more in direction of health and mind space, to be honest. I stream at least once a week, so I keep that up, as well as like the YouTube videos. I keep those going, the content coverage. But my priority this year has been more on self-development, health, mental health, and try to balance that out with a healthy work relationship, which isn't that easy, but trying to. So those are the goals. To be looking back at the end of the year, be like, all right, I'm a little better than I was at the beginning of the year. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Mhm.
I like that. Um, I have a goal to get the 300 PP points for 2 more months, and after that, I won't care for it for a year. So let's hope we get that. And my other goal is mostly mental health related. I'm going on vacation for 2 whole weeks, and I find that very, very scary. So I hope when I return that no, first of all, I hope I will enjoy the vacation without being too much in my head with, but you're a full-time streamer, you're not creating content. Also, I'm gonna make a vlog, so it's like, but only we decided to have like max small amounts of vlog. Um and really work on a more healthy work life balance. So I really want to take at least 1 or 2 days off per month that I'm really not doing anything work related. And that's currently really, really difficult because now on my free days, I'm like, at least I can do like 2 hours of like editing or uploading something and I already have like 1 or 2 or 3 days per month that I really don't work. So I really want to make that, yeah, at least 1 pajama Netflix day a month would be a good goal.
I Oh,
Just a day that you
sorry
do
if this
nothing
is
at all.
interrupting, but
Yeah.
one of the things that I started doing is I do an unplugged Sunday once a week, and which I know, like, if you're used to being online a lot, going to that is really hard, but I've noticed it's helped my mindset so much to like I try to not use my phone or my computer. I've started being on it a little bit more lately because I've been trying to get some things done, but I always try to reconnect to that of like trying to have at least one day a week where like my community even knows that like on Sunday I probably won't be in the Discord, I won't respond to messages. I'm going to do my own thing and like give time to the dog in my own space just cuz I do think sometimes we get so plugged in. It's so hard to find a balance. But I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll try to do that once a month. Like then I think it's more doable, but I do think it's nice. I also in one of these sessions, someone said that they have after stream always 2 hours without their phone to ground back, and I thought, wow, that's pretty inspiring to just really because normally when I end my stream, I do a few more things and then I'm like at the couch or wherever, and I'm the first 20 minutes still on my phone, like checking the Discord, seeing who else is live, what they're doing, and to have a little bit more of a going out of the workflow, I guess. Still weird to call this work. I will never get used. Yeah, a disconnect every now and then. I think that would be cool. Noble, I do have one more question for you. We talked a little bit about editors. Do you have editors for YouTube? You do
Nope.
everything yourself.
Yep.
But you
One-man
did
operation.
recommend us, like, if you want to be good at YouTube, you need editors.
Yeah, my problem is that I love editing and I have a really hard time handing over the projects to other people. So I love the entire
Yeah.
process: scripting, voiceover, editing, putting it all together. It's my baby. It's how I got into this because I love doing it. And if I was smarter, I should have done this years ago. I should have invested in editors that can make a better video than I ever could, because my editing style has not really shifted over the last 10 years. It's still as basic as it started. But again, I like doing that because they're all my own little thing. But if I was a wiser man, a smarter man, a more modern day YouTuber, I would have a team of people working on video with editing, with PR, with all the side things, and then you could focus on the content creation, the thing that you actually zone in on, that you really like, perhaps be the face of the company, and then also enjoy life. That which ultimately is the goal.
I'm way too much of a control freak too. It's so hard for me to like
I'm
ask
also
for help.
such a
I'm too much of a
control freak.
perfectionist. I can't. I'm like, I want to do this. I can't.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. And also, Noble, if you said this is what you love most, the editing, then wouldn't it take all the fun away if someone else is going to tell you how
Yeah,
to
it
do
will.
it and take that part away, right?
Yeah, but at some point you gotta. So what I mean by that is as well, like when I started, it wasn't a time again back in my day where YouTube wasn't as big as it used to be, and very few channels are just based on one person, one camera, and one video. Which back in the day was a lot different. You had two kids jamming out to the Pokemon theme song, and they would become one of the biggest YouTube channels out there. You had a kid screaming at Happy Wheels, and they would become the biggest YouTuber out there. And these days, the YouTube channels are run by a Mr. Beast who has a whole company behind him who do the analytics and the thumbnails, and they figure out how the algorithm works. And not only that, they also allow them to work with an upload speed, which allows them to feed the YouTube monster. Because where I barely get away with once a week uploads, what you should really be doing is 7 days a week plus 7 times shorts, because YouTube now really loves shorts. And you should be doing promotion and this and that. And that's simply, it is impossible to do it on your own. If it is possible, I mean, okay, there are going to be examples of people who are doing it on their own, but in general, you're better off with a team, with a friend.
Yeah, agreed.
I did watch a video recently, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I watched something that was talking about that, like, the releasing a lot of content is true. Like, the more often, like, if you can do a video every day, that's better. But that YouTube apparently is trying to go back to that model a little bit, where there's some channels that are just doing like kind of vlogging style, but all one take, not editing, like just talking to the camera, that are doing better. And I don't know if this was just like a one-off video that I watched of somebody that was just chatting about it, but someone was saying that that they're trying to like the algorithm or YouTube or whatever is trying to make it a little bit more friendly towards your everyday YouTuber to kind of find that kind of content, because it has leaned so far that one direction that I don't know. It would be nice.
Yeah,
and
but it's
YouTube has
difficult because on YouTube, on Twitch, on Instagram, on all of the platforms, on TikTok, the algorithm will change. So
Yep.
even if you right now,
Yeah.
I think the best thing is to stick with what works for you and hope the algorithm and you meet somewhere in the middle. And if you feel a little bit that the algorithm and you are working together, like go on that train. But like if I know someone who changed their whole content creation for the algorithm and then the algorithm changed again. And then like you know, and that's I think that's one of the difficult parts of being a content creator at the moment as well, is that we did there's not even really good rules about what the algorithm exactly looks like. There's a lot of people with theories about it, and obviously some people who know. But yeah,
it's
it's
really difficult, as you mentioned. Like if the algorithm was figured out entirely, then everybody would have the top tier YouTube video. And as you said, like the content has changed. There was a time where if you weren't animated on, good luck, you were not going to get anything. There was a time where 8 minutes was the sweet mark, and then was 15 minutes, and then was daily uploads, and then was weekly uploads. And now, as also mentioned in the chat, they are rolling it back to long form content, 30 minutes to an hour, which is in my favor. You had the option where they would favor promoting short content, but they would pay out bigger on longer content. It is insane to try and chase down that algorithm, but at the end of the day, if you don't, you might get buried underneath it, which is also what leads to a lot of burnout. But you can also relate that to Twitch, where now you need to find yourself daily streaming on Twitch. You need to keep on going 12 hours a day. I sometimes watch these full-time streamers that I'm like, are you still disconnecting? Are you still recharging yourself? Like, this can't be healthy. And I'm wondering when we're going to see research. Like, we're seeing this evolvement of entertainment, of like short-term TikTok content that's reforming our brains. Our attention spans are changing. We got the tablets and the phones and streamers that are sitting here for 12 hours a day. I really wonder how it's all going to long-term changes.
Yeah,
But
and that's
smarter
also
people
what
than
I think
myself are
is
going to
really
find it.
scary about taking a vacation. I'll be offline for at
100%.
least 2 weeks, but Twitch changed, of course, that it's no longer highest views to lowest views, but like they have now your everybody who follows in your For You page kind of um likes, I guess. So if I'm away for 2 weeks, for my core community, I'll be still on top. But for the people where I've always been in that like the top 10 or top 20, am I gonna like move out of that? Like how fast does that go? We also don't know. I think it's scary. I think it's scary
I
to
will
not
say, I don't know if it'll help you feel any better. I took basically 2 months off of Twitch. I think I streamed 6 or 7 times while I was gone, and it didn't seem like it was any different before I left versus when I got back. Like,
well,
at
let's
least
hope that
number-wise
two
and things
weeks
like
and
that.
yeah.
So that was 2 months. So I feel like 2 weeks you probably should be okay with that and don't need to worry too much. Because you have your core people that will show up
I have my core.
no
I
matter
have a
what.
really good core, and I
Yeah.
hope they stay. Anyway, I think about attention span that we also reached a little bit of the end of this conversation. I've been having so much fun, so thank you so much, all. I would love for you guys to tell me what's upcoming. What are you gonna do the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks on stream, and why should people follow you? Tiz.
Why do I have to go first? Upcoming. Well, I guess it's my experimental week. I actually just switched my schedule, so I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday instead. We're going to have Mindset Mondays where I'm going to play little indie games. Don't know what I'm doing on Wednesdays. I get just random things, and then Wednesday we're going to try to do fitness streams and then like a first play sort of situation after, I think. And then I'm going to try to do YouTube things or make YouTube stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. At least that's the plan. But yeah, so just experimenting for the next couple weeks.
That's good. I'm curious to see more. Glosske, darling, what is your plan? And is it World of Warcraft Classic?
Well, I will see you on Saturday.
Oh, you're coming!
Yes, of course I'm coming.
Oh my god, so exciting! Oh, I'm really excited for that. Nice.
And the week after that, I will be in Norway crying because I'm a little bit homesick. After that, I'll be streaming whenever. I try to stream like 1-2 times a week-ish, but I got some health issues, so I don't know. But the big next event is I will be at Gamescom at the 23rd of August. I will be streaming again with Amaran, my hat sponsor. So that's gonna be really fun. I love their team, so I'm really looking forward to that as well. So yeah, and when I'm streaming, it's obviously mostly like classic WoW. I mean, hi.
Nice, Gamescom. I'm really interested to hear all your stories from that. I've been there once, and that was in, I think, 2014, 15, 16, or 17 or something, like early. Oh, sorry, I saw a cable move and the cat was playing with it. So, yeah, that's exciting. Nobbel, why should people follow you, and what are you gonna do up next?
Follow me for the stories I'm not allowed to share here. And what's up next?
Wait,
More Tinder stories?
Tinder stories.
No, we're ready to Tinder stories.
you're allowed to share. We can stay.
I want to hear more.
Off stream, we'll do it off stream. And what's content-wise, we're actually going into super busy times because in World of Warcraft, in retail, we are going into the big final patch for the War Within with a big epic battle and big stories to happen. Then the week after that is going to be Gamescom, where they're going to reveal what the next event is going to be. We got the expectation of Midnight Alpha dropping, which is the testing realm where we got like player housing, all kinds of stories coming up. So yeah, we're actually lucky to have this week as a little ramp up, a little build up, and it's all going to be a lot of work, and I'm looking forward to that.
That's really cool. I'm so curious what the next of story is gonna do. Like, I never do any betas or anything because I don't want to get spoiled. So,
It's so fucking epic. Oh,
I have
won't
no idea,
spoil,
but
the
I'm
Amboss,
really
oh my god.
excited. I
They
I
have
want to know one thing. Did they do the hordes? Okay.
There's no faction anymore. The Horde and
No,
Alliance
but
are dead.
like the last time, like
What?
the whole
What
Anduin
is
and the blah
this?
blah blah, and it's been very alliance
Blah
focused.
blah blah. We do not say the blah blah blah. What?
Okay, so but I mean, Anduin is not my king.
Okay.
What?
So you're
Wait.
asking like, did they do the Horde story? Like Horde represented, like factions are gone. Factions
Yeah,
we
I
don't
know
really do. Factions.
we're gone.
The
The
Horde is
factions
not
are gone.
represented at all. The Horde is forgotten about. We have all these alliance characters, and all these alliance characters don't act as alliance characters. Neutral now. Everybody's neutral, and you hold hands, and you will love it. All right. There's no more faction war.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Yeah, we're gonna dance around a campfire in the nude, okay, with
Exactly.
everyone.
In
It's gonna
Goldshire,
be
yeah.
fine.
In the nude as well. Okay, let's go.
I mean, it would be dangerous with the fire, right? Otherwise, your clothing can catch fire.
I mean, other things can catch fire.
I don't know why I said in the nude. Like, I've never danced naked around the fire yet.
You went to tents and islands. Yeah, you have. Don't-
Yeah.
No, that was his sweaters and blankets. It was cold there. Yeah.
I had a sweater on as I was dancing around.
Oh.
And now
Yeah.
you're getting married.
Anyway, I'm super excited as well for the rest of the whole World of Warcraft. For the raiders and people who are joining the stream right now, we're almost at the end, but you can watch this whole episode back on the YouTube, one of my 3 YouTube channels that I have, Streamers and Stories. That's only Streamers and Stories. So please follow that if you want to watch this back, but also the previous episodes. We've had really cool episodes. And
this one's the coolest, right?
this one is by far the best one and my favorite of the day. So I'm really excited about this stream
Tinder
today.
stories, League of Legends. I mean, hello.
A cave with 1,000 dead birds.
Or that, yeah.
I have so many questions still about the dead birds and also about like everything. It's amazing. No, I really like this one. It felt very easy. We have skipped half of the questions because we just had such a lovely conversation. And that is honest to God's what I like most, to just see where we go and what we talk about. So thank you again. For the people who are interested in what I do next week, I don't know yet, actually. I think I'm having a 10-hour stream tomorrow dressed as a shark while I'm doing mount farms in World of Warcraft. And then I will try to bring back some variety, but there will probably be a lot of Heroes of Might and Magic 3 because I want to finish the campaign before the next Heroes of Might and Magic comes out. I have to finish StarCraft and Warcraft and all the other games, so it will be a whole lot of everything. So yeah, follow me if you want. Guests, do you want to say anything? Ask anyone anything, or me before we end the stream in a little bit.
Thank
Do I
you for
want-
having me, and it was wonderful to. I love doing these because it's fun to connect with like other like-minded people and get. Sometimes streaming can be a very solitary thing, so getting to talk to other streamers about what they're doing is always really fun. So, thank you for bringing everybody together. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy you wanted to join.
I just hope that more people will follow you on YouTube since this is going to be on YouTube next. I know you have like 3 YouTube channels, but still, I support you on the YouTube game.
Thank you, darling.
It's all the side hustles, ain't it? Nah, honestly, thank you. This was a blast. Those, what have been sitting here for 3 hours, 4 hours?
Yeah,
Oh.
3.5. We're gonna do some stretching and yoga after.
I
but
say I gotta
that's,
go work out now.
Yeah. We have this super, super, super lovely thing that we do. Oh my god, wait, I forgot something super important. Chats! Thank you for being here and watching us and interacting with us. Because without all of you, it would just for people talking together, which is basically a Friday evening as well. So it's also possible. But this is way more fun with all of you. So thank you so much for being here and letting me do this whole dream of streaming, because I absolutely love doing streamers and stories. So thank you. And I'll be back tomorrow. And you guys are absolutely amazing. Now we have the most fun part of the stream. We're gonna do awkward waving because I don't have an ending stream screen. So we're gonna do some awkward waving, and we're really all gonna wave. We're rating Lucy, by the way, a guest from previous. So if someone can please tell her I'm not there because we had streamers and stories, that would be lovely. Thank you. Okay, awkward waving starts now. Thank you for already starting. Chat also awkward waving, please.
Goodbye. Bye now.
Yeah, this is awkward. This is awkward.
This is very long. This is we go for a while.
This is a workout.
Send us out.